sharp like a knife. Small time streamer, no fame, no crown, but my voice is my own, I won't back down. I guess I'm too raw, too rough, too plain, but I'm spitting my heart, not chasing some game. No corporate leash, no puppet on strings. I'm free in my words, hear the truth that I bring. No big channel shine, no glitter, no fakes. Minimal effort, just me and my takes. I'm speaking the truth, let the whole world know. Small time streamer, but that's how I roll. Do my words hit hard, give the system the chills. Minimal effort, no budget, no frills. I'm carving my path, let the fire erupt. Small time dreamer with the voice that's enough. Got a webcam flicker and a beat in my chest. Bass takes in my veins, spilling facts is my quest. I'm breaking the mold, no mainstream appeal. Just a kid with a dream and a heart made of steel. I sift through the data, the left and the right. No bias, no agenda, just seeking the light. They laugh at my setup, my low-res stream, but my words cut deeper than the corporate screen. I guess I'm too raw, too rough, too plain, but I'm spitting my heart, not chasing some game. No corporate leash, no puppet on strings. I'm free in my words, hear the truth that I bring. No big channel shine, no glitter, no fakes. Minimal effort, just me and my takes. I'm speaking the truth, let the whole world know. Small time streamer, but that's how I roll. Do my words hit hard, give the system the chills. Minimal effort, no budget, no frills. I'm carving my path, let the fire erupt. Small time dreamer with a voice that's enough. I'm the spark in the dark, the glitch in the code. Carving my lane on this uncharted road. Million subs, no viral fame, but I'm owning the truth and I'm changing the game. I'll scream till my lungs give out, till the signal's dead. Every word that I speak is the blood that I bled. No big channel shine, no glitter, no fakes. Minimal effort, just me and my takes. I'm speaking the truth, let the whole world know. Small time streamer, but that's how I roll. Do my words hit hard, give the system the chills. Minimal effort, no budget, no frills. I'm carving my path, let the fire erupt. Small time dreamer with a voice that's enough.
Y'all, I'm not prepared for this. I'm sorry. I was late and now I'm just completely disorganized. You gotta give me a second. I was posting on Twitch because apparently posting on Twitch is something you can now do, because I am not streaming to Twitch anymore until something is done with Hasan Abi, which we'll talk about him in a little bit here. But I can't post a link on Twitch. That's the bummer. You know, I've got my YouTube link on my profile page on Twitch. Find me on YouTube. Link is on my profile. I've decided the easier thing to do than to completely destroy my Twitch account is just to not stream there. You know, I kind of figure that's the best case scenario, best thing to do. So we'll give that a go for now. Hang on one sec. But at least that way, for the 1 or 2 people, maybe 1 or 2 people that actually view, you know, like watch the stream on Twitch, they'll know that way. How do we post this? Hit your story? Okay. Dude, I hate that everything's like a freaking social media app now. Hey, Lugia. Hey, guys. So, I don't know, guys. I thought I had like all my shit together for the stream tonight. Unfortunately, I'm like super far behind. But we've got some stuff to talk about, so yeah, just loop the clip of Pixar or Piker Pixar. How the hell did I think of Pixar? Piker talking hate. Here's the problem. He's not doing that on like a loop on his story, right? He's actually broadcasting to Twitch, I assume. That I think would fall under like spam or I don't know. I don't know if how long that would last. Plus, you'd have to have a constant connection to Twitch to actually have that looping, wouldn't you? I kind of imagine you'd have to have that like a live stream going the whole time. Yeah, Lugia, there's a lot to talk about, and actually I had to eliminate some of the topics that I wanted to bring up, only because I know that the way things go, we'll get sidetracked, and it'll freaking turn into a 3 or 4 hour stream, and I can't do that. So, but yeah, there's a lot to go over. So we can go over the unimportant shit first. All you hopeful in the chat that Hasan is going to get banned or living delusion. Oh, no. See, NS, I don't actually believe he's going to. No, I don't think he will. But it gives me a convenient excuse not to bother streaming on their platform. So, I hate to say it's a win-win, but I've been debating what to do about my Twitch account anyways, whether I want to continue streaming there or not. And so in that situation, it's like, you know, it's the easy thing to say. It's like, I can just simply not stream there and essentially have a silent protest. And again, I have like 0 viewership on Twitch. To be completely 100% transparent, I have like no viewership on Twitch at all. But at least this way I can kind of say, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to send anybody who would watch me on YouTube or anywhere else to Twitch to watch instead. It's not unimportant shit. Hasan should get banned. Yes, Hasan should get banned. Or Sean Connery would say, you should ban him. But it's not going to happen. So, let's see here. Unimportant shit. Cracker Barrel. They put out this advert. Let me switch to the other screen, guys. Let's see if anything pops up. Oh, I got all my videos hidden. That's great. Oh, cool. No, apparently Cracker Barrel put out this post earlier today. Like any good relationship, sometimes you just need a little tune-up. We're going back to the things that made us all fall in love in the first place. Now, for anybody who's not in the U.S., who has any questions about what the hell a Cracker Barrel is, it's not good. I went to one in Arizona. The only time I've been to one, it was the worst plate of food I've ever gotten in my entire life. So this whole blow up over the sign and everything else, yeah, it was ridiculous. The whole remodel thing and changing the logo to be like for modern audiences and shit. Terrible idea. But their food is their biggest problem, if we're being honest about it. Twitch Golden Boy. Hey, Matt Adam. That is a clear message what Twitch is. Plus the CEO is a pervy creep. Oh, yeah. No, dude. Dan Clancy. He was exposed as being basically like an old, like a horn dog. Which Cracker Barrel did I buy that costume beard from? Jordan! Oh my gosh. Wonder if Matt's gonna pop in today. Jordan, it's past your bedtime. What are you doing, man? Yo, have I not updated you on the beard lately? Oh man. Hey, Mahendra. No, not too late. Isn't that video old? I'm pretty sure I had seen it before they brought back the Cracker and the Barrel. No, NS, this is from this morning, 6 a.m. You'd be the same if I ate Cracker Barrel in California. So, Lugia, when I went to Arizona last year with the kids and the wife, and we went to NASCAR, it was the same quality food. In fact, I had the exact same plate of food that my mom had in a separate state. It was their chicken and dumplings, which is impossible to screw up. And somehow they actually screwed it up. So, let me see here. Cracker Barrel, they cracked their business. Well, Cracker Barrel's been going downhill for a while anyways. Yeah, no, Jordan, I'm just letting this thing grow, man. You saw it on Facebook a while ago. Yes, well, the pictures on Facebook, oh no, I guess I posted the ones from the Creed concert, so that's fairly recent. Don't know how you're awake right now. You know what? I'm guessing it has something to do with those 2 babies you got. If I was going to venture a guess, I'd say it has something to do with that. All right, so let's see here. What else we got? Oh, here's a good one. The U.S. has reached a deal with China over TikTok. China. According to the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, the TikTok ban was set to take effect on September 17th. So guys, any of you Zoomers out there that watch TikTok, you're all saved. You know, it's really funny. My wife was trying to convince me that once they make a US version of the app, or, you know, like a revise the app so that it's ran from the US, that we should actually make a TikTok account for my channel. I'm like, I don't want to do it. Even for posting things like if I do a short or a reel or whatever, I don't want to put that crap on TikTok. I want to be there nowhere. I want to be nowhere near TikTok. They've been out since 10. I just make poor decisions. Well, don't revert and start turning back into a gamer and then being up all night playing video games. Although it is sad, Jordan, I have nobody to play games with anymore. And to be fair, I play like 1 hour a night, every other night, if that. So, but yeah, so apparently the TikTok ban is going to be avoided. So yay, more Zoomer slop. Hey, Tekla. Radical. What makes you think I'm radical? You didn't get a notification, Mari? I don't know why. YouTube hates me, apparently. I don't know. No TikTok or shorts, come on. No, see, I for real, I was thinking about it. Like, I could make a TikTok account, and if I ever make another like short or a reel, I could just put it on TikTok to send people to YouTube. But I just don't want the app on my phone. I don't have a secondary phone, so I don't want to have anything to do with TikTok at all. At all. Selling the high season, playing some emulators. There you go. Let me see. Every time they bring that up, TikTok's going to get the axe. It just gets prolonged again and again and again. I don't think they have any intention to actually ban it. To be honest, I get it. You know, it's a spyware app and everything else, but I don't think there's ever any real intention to ban it. So here's a good one. You guys see Stephen King anytime recently? Talking about, you know, costumes and whatnot, with Jordan referencing my beard here. I don't know where they found this man. This is from Retard Finder. It says this retard is 2 years younger than Trump. I don't know if that's true. I don't know how old Stephen King is. He's never allowed to say a word about Trump's health again. Check this out. This is, I don't know, like, I got no words for this one, guys. Hang on.
Stephen King here, reminding you it's Sunday, but there's still time for you to walk to your nearest movie theater and see The Long Walk.
I just can't even. Hey, Moxie! I used to not want anything to do with TikTok, then I got married. See, Jordan, the thing was, I never got pulled into it. I thought about it. Yeah, and you know, I've seen like back around 2020 when like it was crazy, like the Wild West, and people were sharing all the conspiracy theories on TikTok. That's where I thought that there was some value to it, but I just don't want to start now. You can't hear? What? You can't hear Stephen King? Well, that's because the TikTok or the Twitter video is really quiet. Moxie sends maximum love. Is that for my minimal effort? Is that play on words? Yeah, The Walking Dead. Well, the funny thing about this Long Walk movie is apparently it completely tanked at the movie theater. Don't do drugs. Look, I want to play this in slow motion. Hang on a second. Let me see here. Let's do half speed. We'll just go ahead and mute it since nobody can hear him anyways. Hey, Moxie, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. Welcome in, Granola Grin. Seabrew, hey, buddy. Hey, JJJR. Or is that JJJ Jr.? I missed your text, Mahendra. Let me scroll back up and see. The crew offline patch has been released by a fan. Oh, that's cool. Well, it's good because they were never going to do that themselves. Oh, my God. Getting old is so much fun, isn't it? I hope that that's not my future right there. Am I muted? Freaking microphone or Windows or whatever. Metastep, I did not see a message from you, unfortunately. God, this is terrifying. More scary than anything he's ever written in a book that's been put into a movie. Her Borderlands is shit optimized, but looks to be doing pretty hot on Steam. That's the crazy part, Dor. Borderlands 4 is one of those things where the game apparently is running like hot garbage, and yet somehow the game is also selling exceptionally well. Take a look at your future kids. If you live long enough, this will be you or worse. Yeah, Bobby Blankenship. This is enough to make me not want to get past a certain age. Oh, he's wearing a 47 necklace. Dude, you're right. I didn't even notice that. What on earth? I don't understand. I don't even want to try to figure that out. Do I think that they'll DMCA the crew offline patch? I mean, it's Ubisoft. What won't they do? Stephen King, is he still a drunk or does he have wet brain now? I'm not going to try to figure out what's going on in his brain. Anytime that he takes a break from Twitter and then comes back, he's worse than he was before. Don't do meth and coke. Also, don't write in really disgusting graphic scenes with children in your horror books. Don't do that either. Angry, Yep, it did, but hey, Angry Joe loved it, so it's the best movie ever, 8 out of 10. Yeah, no, I've got some thoughts on Randy Pitchford. We'll get to him in a minute. I don't hate the guy. I think he's right about some things, but his approach is entirely wrong. That's the biggest problem. Yeah, Mari, kind of like a Trump necklace, it looks like. I don't know. Yes, it is UE5. It is 100% UE5. Hey, Moxie, there you are. Appreciate the raid, Moxie. If you have meth, you don't... Okay, not that I take any foreign substances, but I have to imagine I'd probably prefer coke to meth. I think long-term health-wise, maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like coke would be not as devastatingly terrible for you. Stephen King was carried to that location by his handlers and walked 15 steps that day because that's in his terms and contract. All right, so here's some not so funny news. From Jesse Waters here, it says, Fox News alert, Charlie Kirk's assassin is on suicide watch. Tyler Robinson is refusing to cooperate, and the FBI is trying to crack into his phone. He reportedly admitted to the murder, saying, hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. So this is the state of things. I've been covering this on the secondary channel, guys, so if you follow me here, my second channel that the wife and I started that I haven't done anything with, other than like a couple uploads a week, I cover more like the news on there. And so I've been doing a lot of the updates on this stuff. And unfortunately, I'm feeling like Epstein vibes right now. I'm not even kidding. Anytime that there's somebody on suicide watch, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, here we go again. It's like I'm getting like PTSD or something. We've been here before. Don't take any drugs. So that's other than coffee and tea. That's like my drug of choice. That's it. So say you're wrong and you'll fix it. Yeah. Yeah, Jordan, the entire story is weird. Like, I'm not on the side of the conspiracy where it's like the shooter, the kid, Tyler Robinson, didn't do it at all. But at the same time, I have a lot of questions. There's been people saying that the ballistics couldn't possibly have been what was used. They had to have been a smaller bullet because a 30-06 would have been like, it would have blown like a hole in his head. It's like the guy's using ballistic gel versus a human body are completely different topics, like different subjects, but it feels really weird. It feels really fishy, okay? There's something else going on, and I don't know quite what to make of it. It's just more bang for your buck all around. Are we still talking about drugs? Oh my god. Well, Metastep, I wouldn't rule it out from being any three-letter intelligence agency, foreign asset involvement. I just don't have any definitive proof or leaning one way or the other. So I have nowhere to go. I've got no like hard set opinion on it other than clearly the one saying that Charlie Kirk, either his own security was in on it or that he had some sort of way of faking it. I'm sorry. That's the most asinine thing I've ever heard. It'll obliterate a deer at 200 yards. Oh, okay. Because I've heard both sides of the arguments. 4.0 GPA, trans boyfriend, pretty good shot. Good luck on Palantir to predict mass shootings. Nootropics like caffeine are my drug of choice. Drink and dance with Mary Jane is my choice in the PM. I was on Words of Paradise's stream on Friday night, and I had a Guinness. One Guinness just at the end of my night to kind of relax. It was the only beer I had in the house. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll have a Guinness instead of a beer. And that was the first time I've had a drink in probably weeks. I just don't drink very often at all. Yeah, Jordan, do you aim for the neck? I don't go hunting. I have plenty of weapons and I never use them.
Are the best
so
way to show someone how much
I'm that really cool guy that
it is like this
owns
tangible
guns he
thing
never
that
fires.
You can point to and say, "Hey, man, I love you. This many dollars worth."
The question is, who did Tyler talk to on Discord or Reddit? Who is he working for? Interrogate everyone in his group chat.
Yeah, Lugia, that is something that they're going to have to get to the bottom of. And thanks for the 5, buddy. Appreciate you. The thing that I've been paying attention to is the FBI is like, well, this guy Twigs, no joke, the guy, his furry transgender boyfriend's name is Twigs. He's the guy that's like cooperating with the FBI, and I guess he was the one that was showing them the Discord messages at first. Now we're hearing that the FBI has like a list of like 12 people that when Robinson was on the run, he was talking to on Discord, and he apologized to all of them and said, yes, that was me, after joking about having a doppelganger. So I don't even know. It's crazy. Who's involved? Who's in this group chat? Which groups? I mean, there's too much to go over. But anytime you see this where it's like, oh yeah, they're on suicide watch, it's just a bad sign in my opinion. It's terrible. Cassandra McDonald from Gateway Pundit says, if they let him kill himself, I'm going to lose my shit. This needs to go to trial. Every co-conspirator and weird internet person encouraging him or radicalizing him must be revealed and charged as accomplices. Then the state needs to end him. Yes. I mean, I'm worried that they're either going to let him end himself or we're never going to get the answers. They're going to rush the trial, get rid of the guy. And I'm not saying he's a patsy. I fully believe he probably was the one that pulled the trigger. But again, people have questions about how he got the rifle off the roof. The bolt action rifle couldn't have been broken down quickly enough. The scope was improperly mounted. You know, there's just so many questions, guys. It was a boy LARPing as a girl. You do for the heart. Again, you aim for the chest. The kid almost missed. Yeah, people were going like, oh, it was a professional hit because he hit him in the neck. It's like, no, he hit him in the neck because he missed his target. He was probably aiming for the chest. If he's actually aiming center mass like you're supposed to do. Yeah, NS, he's on the watch. He's on. Yeah. He's probably going to end up in the same prison as Epstein, to be honest. Just watch it happen. Oh, there's a 4-minute clip in the video footage missing. We don't have no idea how that happened. I feel like a conspiracy theory consensus has never been this big after a shooting. Door, you got to remember the Butler shooting with Trump that killed Corey Comparator last year. There were a lot of people running with some crazy conspiracies, and there are some that I would even entertain. But at the end of the day, I don't believe that there wasn't really a bullet that whizzed past Trump's head. So, I mean, you can talk about who did it, who was responsible, was there a second shooter? I'm down with all the conspiracies. Yeah, he broke down the rifle, posted a picture of a fully assembled rifle. And and again, it's not like breaking down an AR. Something on the AR platform would be a lot easier to work with than a bolt action, especially the wood stock and everything else. It's just, I don't know. It might not have been a wood stock. It might have been a composite or whatever. I didn't get a good look at the weapon other than the picture that the FBI showed, which again is not the best picture. Oh, here's a good one. I don't know why the older I get, the less open I am to conspiracy theories. You know, Meta, there's something to be said for that, where it's like when you're young, especially if you are terminally online and you want to believe that the world's against you, you're going to probably buy into things a lot quicker. That anytime like somebody tells you something, the younger you are, the more gullible you might be. Then you hit an age where you go, okay, this could be true, but I'm going to try to discern for myself and fact check and get to the bottom of it. Then you get old and you start being gullible again. It's like, you know, that meme people always show where it's like you have the middle IQ is where the chads are, and then you have like the extreme on both ends. Or it could be that the middle is dumb and that the retards and the geniuses are all in the same wave. I don't know. The point is, things go in cycles, and I feel like you're more gullible when you're young and when you're really old. And then you get to kind of a middle age point of life where either you don't care or you don't believe everything you hear. So Still don't really know who Thomas Crooks is. Yeah, that went away really fast, didn't it? It's an old Mauser, right? That thing doesn't break down easy. We're never going to get all the answers. He's on watch, though. That's not good. We know what happened. Here we go, conspiracy theory. Yeah, and again, even if there's no legitimacy at all, even if there's no conspiracy whatsoever, the fact that they're going to let this kid potentially off himself is the worst thing possible for everybody. At 42, I only pay attention to the new conspiracy theories. The best conspiracy theories are the ones that make the most sense, because those are the ones that end up not being conspiracy theories. That is true, Burner. We talked about this on Leon's show. You know Burner. You love Leon. Oh, not you, Burner. I'm thinking DB Wild. Yeah, I haven't caught the gay yet, DB, so we're safe. The whole MK Ultra thing and Area 51, these are all things that were conspiracy theories until Hollywood slowly started telling us they weren't, because the government approved the message being allowed out there. So even if it were true, what could I actually do about it? Yeah, that is also true. There is only so much you could do about it. You know, Dor, I wouldn't rule it out either way, but I also have no definitive proof or reason. I just don't know why. Okay, Jordan, you could make the argument that Trump could have put the hit out on Kirk. And I know it's a crazy thing to say and a crazy conspiracy theory, and I don't believe it. I'm just saying, you could throw any theory at the wall and see what sticks. Like if he needed a distraction or if he needed a boost in favorability, that's something that he could then use to rally people around him. And I'm not saying he did it. So don't start thinking I'm over here accusing anybody. I'm just saying you can literally make a theory about anything and come to a reasonably well-crafted conclusion or, a train of thought to get there. That doesn't make it true, DOD, right? Only theory I can get behind is the one about Avril Lavigne not being Avril Lavigne. Well, Avril Lavigne, didn't she get really thick or something? And then people were all upset. I'm like, she's like a mom now, isn't she? That's what happens when you get older. Like, come on. The coup was so obvious, though. I wasn't that skeptical about that. I mean, yeah, I was pretty worried for a couple of weeks. And then I realized, oh, wait a second. I'm not going to drop dead from something that's like the common cold. So there you go. All right, guys. So here's a fun one. I finally made it into a mainstream headline. Not even kidding. Okay. So I was really upset this past week on Twitter. Anybody who's not on Twitter, you are better off for it because it is a horrible, horrible place. It makes you say and do horrible things. And social media is just the worst. So it's a bad place. It's an icky place. Hollywood Reporter put this article out there saying that Comedy Central pulls South Park episode after Charlie Kirk's assassination. In here, I was reading through this, I found a quote that belongs to me. Now, they didn't actually link it to my account. So I found that to be very strange. Let me see, where is this at? Where is the quote? Be easier if they actually did link it. Here we go. I said, let's blame South Park, blame the media, blame leftist rhetoric. These people hate you and want to see you dead. Okay? That is something I said, but it's only part of the quote. Hasan has been under the microscope a lot lately, Jordan, because Elon Musk has been tagging Jeff Bezos in a lot of the videos coming out about things he said. So, didn't AIPAC donate $80 million to TPUSA? I don't know. Okay, if you want to go down the conspiratorial rabbit hole, people are saying Charlie Kirk started to be more critical of Israel within the last few months. And again, I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I'm just saying that's something that actually has been going on. So I figured this out. They linked it to the Daily Beast article, which I couldn't actually bring up on my computer, but I have a screenshot of it. And so it says, MAGA points fingers at South Park after Charlie Kirk assassination. And again, in the article here, they quote me saying, you know what, F it, let's blame South Park, wrote one angry conservative commenter on X. I love that that's the notoriety I have is one angry, it's like 12 angry jurors. Blame the media, blame their leftist rhetoric, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What they didn't include was that in a response to somebody else saying that they'd also blame video games and the Proud Boys if a Democrat politician got axed, so sure, I said, to be clear, and this was like not long after I posted this, and that kind of blew up on Twitter. I said, to be clear, I'm not blaming South Park, but the left repeatedly claims that right-wing rhetoric is radicalizing people. Meanwhile, the only people being shot are right-wing and Christian. Again, no mention of that on the Hollywood Reporter. No mention of that on the Daily Beast. They took one thing I said and ran with it. Got to change my X name to that. To what? What are we saying? Conservative commenter on X, yeah. Oh, man. Even Side Scrollers brought up your post to talk about this very topic. Well, the thing is, hopefully they understood that I was being hyperbolic. I had no intention of actually blaming South Park at all. Charlie Kirk himself said, you know, it's good fun, I think it's funny, whatever. He wasn't mad about it at all. My point was simply, all we hear anytime anything bad happens, anytime anyone does anything in this country, no matter which side of the aisle it's on, they go back to Trump said this and therefore Trump made this, it's just, it's insane. Yeah, they're cherry picking and saying, not saying the whole truth. Yeah. No, that's 100% what it is. And I was shocked because the article's 4 days old. I didn't think about it. I tweeted that. I responded to a few comments and that was it. I moved on with my life. Angry conservative commenter. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was really upset last week. So I'm okay with them calling me that. That's fine. Worst things they could call me. But you know what? At least we're seeing some people pretending to be human. Jamie Lee Curtis broke down in tears over Charlie Kirk's killing, said he's a father and a husband and a man of faith. I don't know what to think of this, guys. I don't really care about the opinions of celebrities. I do find it crazy and interesting that there is somebody who in Hollywood would actually say this. That's wild. But I think South Park pulled the episode because they wanted to show respect to their family. Yeah, but there's no... I don't think they needed to pull the episode. Maybe the timing sucks, and it sucks for them. But again, I'm not over here actually blaming South Park. They also made fun of Kristi Noem and a few other people. And sure, South Park's always been off the chain. They've always been like unhinged, right? It didn't used to be as obvious how biased they were. Now they won't even touch Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, but all they make fun of is Trump and Charlie Kirk and all these conservatives, right? Yeah, I don't want to talk about Mossad, guys. I don't want to get Mossaded myself. Oh, man. Let me see here. What else have we got? Oh, here's a good one from I Meme Therefore I Am. Says you can't make this stuff up. Unhinged college student loses her shit over a rest in peace Charlie sign. Accuses others of racially profiling her as an aggressive black woman. Then gets arrested for physically assaulting a man peacefully holding a rest in peace Charlie sign. This is the thing. I don't understand. And this girl's probably all of like 20 years old. Like, imagine having it on your record that you've been arrested already for assaulting somebody because he was holding a sign in like memoriam of a guy who was assassinated. I do find that Yahoo's disgusting. Israel's biggest friend and ally. Hate that way too soon. The probiotic yogurt ad, mother of Lindsay Lohan, Parent Trap. Oh, I forgot she was the Activia lady. You're right. Activia is not the worst yogurt, to be honest, though. Yes, making fun of conservatives is still the safe comedy in the mainstream. Oh, it's gold, Mad Adam, for sure. 100%. Well, okay, so I don't know if she has normal human decency or if it's just, again, feigning it. I don't really care either way. Here's the thing. And Jordan, actually, it's kind of advantageous that you're here. I appreciate the fact that the timing worked out. So we hadn't been to a church recently in a long time, and we were like, you know what? We're going to be like everybody else and say we need to get back to church this Sunday. And so we went back to one of the churches in my area, and it wasn't great, to be honest. It was packed. The place was packed, but it just wasn't, I don't know. But it is really funny how that worked out, but a lot of people were offended that their churches didn't have something to say about Charlie Kirk. Now, the pastor of this church, he brought it up and said that he would have talked about it, but he already had another sermon planned, and he had this whole thing because he just got back from like a mission trip or whatever. So, you know, there was one of those, okay, obviously we want to talk about it, but we can't talk about it today. I saw people posting on X that they were all like, oh, I have to find a new church because my pastor didn't talk about this. And it's like, I don't know how I feel about that. It's like you're trying to cancel your church now because the pastor didn't give the sermon that you wanted him to give. You know, at some point, it's like, come on, dude, really? She's gorgeous but bad-hearted? I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis was always nice looking. I don't know if I'd say gorgeous. She attacked more than just him. Yeah, I didn't see the video of her when she actually attacked everybody, but yeah. Guy stopping a young man from speaking about what he saw. I did, and then I also saw a video of this insane kid like jumping on a Charlie Kirk memorial, like a little memorial they had set up. Kid was 19 years old and already has an arrest on his record now. Just because the building's packed doesn't mean it's a good church. No, that's fair. That's fair. And although, to be honest, I'm pretty sure church attendance around the nation was probably pretty packed. Priest not a trend chaser. Yeah. Make a recommendation, Metastep? Go for it. I'm not shaving, though. Just saying. I can get a trim, but I'm not getting a shave. So some gaming news, guys. Some actual positive news. Yeah, Metastep, that's actually not a bad idea. And the thing is, the hard part is there are good churches, but they're not near... Like, I've been to some ones that are really, really awesome churches, but they're not near me is the problem. Oh, she does like some strange-ass art. You're not kidding, Junior. It's, like I said, I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis is, like, a great person just for doing the bare minimum. But anyways, Clara Obscura Expedition 33, I know, a game that some people are sick of hearing about, but it's an amazing game, has already passed almost 4.5 million copies sold, and it's only been out for a few months. Fantastic game. Then we saw this, which was really cool. Apparently, Silksong, another amazing indie game. They had a boss which honored a Hollow Knight fan who lost a battle with cancer. So they actually put this character, Seth, in here and worked with the person who was a lifelong fan of the game, who apparently had cancer, which is just incredible in my opinion. This is a really cool thing to do. I don't believe current events should be the focus of a sermon. Sermons to feed the sheep. When eternity comes, this won't matter at all. All right, and again, it's like, I can understand that there are a lot of people went to church this weekend looking for hope and looking for meaning because of what's going on in the world. But at the same time, the church also has its own needs and things that it has going on too. So yeah, Burner, she's got that weird painting again. We've all seen it, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure most of us have. Emmy Awards 2025 was even worse. I hate celebrities. Dude, I'm not even going to bring up the Emmys. Not even going to mention it because they suck so bad. It's awful. Seek and ye shall find. Yeah, agreed, 100%. Let me see here. But I thought this was a really touching, really cool thing to do, to put somebody in this game that had cancer, that actually passed away from terminal cancer, passed away in 2019 before the release. But it says his creation remains in the game. Players can face Seth in Eastern Greymore, where the fight is paired with ethereal music and continues into a quest line across the map. Hey, Mr. Hardcore Mode! Did that not set off the alerts? What's going on? Dude, I don't know why the alert's not working, but hey, I appreciate you, dude. Muchos gracias, my friend. It's cool they're honoring a fan. Dude, I mean, this is the kind of stuff. And people criticize them for the time that they released this game, for shadow dropping it, for not announcing it ahead of time, for not giving any other indie dev any warning. It's like, it's their job to put out a good game. It's your job to compete with them. I'm sorry. I don't feel like any mercy or sadness for other indie devs. I think that this is a really cool thing to do. See, a lot of is that the church is so detached from what's going on in their life that even when a Christian that's actually well known is gunned down, they still have nothing to say. Like, I think, and again, like I said, the pastor of this church, he mentioned it. He talked about the events going on in the world, the country, the Colorado shooting that happened the same day. Like, he touched on it, but he wasn't going to change his entire sermon about it, which I can understand. I can respect that. Let me see what else we got. Here's something for you. Compare this to the budget of Silksong and the budget of Expedition 33. Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet is Naughty Dog's most expansive and maybe the most expensive game the studio has ever made. Imagine saying that with a straight face in the current climate that we're existing in, when games, like the price of games, are getting completely out of hand. You've got like this development hell these games are stuck in. Again, the $80 price for some of them, what Nintendo's doing with their greed. You got Sony and Microsoft still fighting the console war for some reason with exclusivity. And now you got games bragging about how they're going to spend more. Think about like GTA 6. Oh yeah, they're spending $1.5 billion to make the game. Expedition 33 needs 5 million plus. It'll get there. I haven't bought my physical copy of Expedition 33 yet. I'm going to. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I was waiting. I was hoping that they would have a physical PC release. They have Expedition 33 is doing something really cool. They've got a console collector's version that's like a $60 version that's a physical release on a disc with some other stuff. It's a really cool thing that they did. It's only $60 for that version, but it's not on PC. So can't wait to not play it. Yeah, so one of these things I didn't bother bringing it up, guys, because it's not Erika Ishii. This is Tati Gabrielle, another insane Asian. What is with these Asian actresses and being so crazy? I don't understand it. But people have been sharing around today this screenshot of Erika Ishii, who's, going to be in Ghost Yote. And they're taking a clip out of context from a video that she posted on TikTok back in 2023, where she was reacting to Godzilla -1 in the theater, and she said about Oppenheimer that he should be burning in hell. Okay, and it was like this gag, this pretend emotional crying video she made. People screenshotted that and put it on Twitter and said she was talking about Charlie Kirk. And I had the community note it. Eventually, the person that posted it deleted the post, but it was making the rounds. And I'm like, dudes, we got enough problems with some of these games without creating fake controversies. Can we not do this? Like, please, can we not? Where's the variety guy? Is this gonna be the most expensive and the gayest game ever? That guy is just the absolute worst. Is this the gayest Star Wars show ever? Speaking of messy games and optimization, Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford's chronic tweeting syndrome strikes again, says less than 1% of players are filing tickets about performance so clearly the internet's overblowing it. To be fair, Oppenheimer probably believed the same. I don't know, did you watch the Oppenheimer film? Everybody was raving about it so much that I was actually not even interested in watching it. To be fair, I can't even think of the last movie that I went and saw in theater. Like, I'm trying to think what the last one I saw in theater was, and I'm drawing a blank. I think the third Sonic movie was probably it. And then before that, we took the kids to go see Fellowship of the Ring and Return of the King in theater. I think they were the extended editions, too, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, it's like 3.5 hours in the movie theater. Okay. Steam Borderlands 4. I'm curious how many people are actually playing this game right now. These are pretty impressive numbers, not gonna lie. This is kind of crazy. 142,000 in-game right now. Peak of 300. Dude, they got 300,000 peak players yesterday, and it's sitting at 63% on the reviews on Steam due to the poor performance of this game. That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. Last one I saw was The Blind. That one's not ringing any bells. Variety freaking flagged me as a bot, then deleted their post. I have to fight that all day. Chronic tweeting syndrome. Dude, I mean, that is for real, okay? I wanted Borderlands 4 to fail. I mean, look, I covered it in videos. I didn't want it to fail, and I didn't want it to succeed. I have no opinion on the series itself because I never played them. I know a lot of people said that Borderlands 3 was terrible. It ruined the series. The writing was cringe. All those things. But at the same time, I just was like, I don't have any personal grudge against it or any desire for it to flop.
Like this tangible thing that you can point to.
Yo, Cult Classic, how you doing, buddy?
I love you. This many dollars worth.
Hope you good, homie.
We good, homie. Hope you're doing good, Cass. Thank you for the 5. Were you streaming? If not, oh, I think you work at nights, don't you? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is your work shift. Yeah, no, chronic tweeting syndrome. And we're going to get into some of his tweets because he's been tweeting like full-on essays the last couple days. 1 FPS, I'm faster than that in bed. Oof. Oh, man. Just wait till you get to be my age, NS. Yeah, Borderlands 4 drops to 1 frame per second on PS5 in some areas. I thought there was a video attached to this. In fact, I think I have that further along these tweets that I've got here. All right, so Randy Pitchford has been doing a lot of tweeting. We're going to try to do like a quick summary of some of these because otherwise it's going to take forever to get through them. Here on September 13th, he said, "We had some CS work prove that through setting tweaks, only being able to climb up to 120 frames per second plus on PC in Borderlands 4 with 3 and 4-year-old hardware. Your mileage may vary, but please consider using the tools available to you to tune your own balance between FPS resolution and graphics features. There are as many PC hardware component and graphics settings combinations as there are guns in Borderlands 4, billions. And with the right settings, you can turn a gray drop into green, blue, or even purple gear. Doing a lot of work on our end to help automate those settings better as we parse the huge amount of telemetry coming in, but you don't have to wait for a patch to get nice frame rate with Borderlands 4. We'll do more to share tips and guidance also." Most of this, guys, is just him basically telling you, if you want better performance, turn down your settings. And this is something that I've done year after year after year. Even now with my 9060 I have in here, like I've got a good processor. I'm on the AM4 chip still, right? I've got DDR4 RAM, but I got 64 gigs. I've got a 9060. It runs games really well. Some games it runs on high graphics, no problem. So I can understand the argument that he makes that you need to try to optimize your game better by using lower settings for better performance. You're trading off, visuals for frame rate essentially, and all that's, fine. I understand that. The problem is the way he goes about it, right? And the fact that they had in their recommended settings, again, recommended specs, doesn't cut it. When you have recommended specs and they use 3 and 4-year-old hardware and people point this out, and then the game runs like crap on that hardware, you shouldn't be calling that recommended specs, right? That's just reality. Call that meltdown, but okay. Well, it is what it is. Hey, Geek, how's it going, buddy? Borderlands 4 could have been worse than 3 by a lot, and it still would have been a flop. Borderlands fanboys are accepting of mediocrity no matter what, as long as it's mainline Borderlands. Yeah, I mean, it's to be fair. Look, Madden games. People continue to buy Madden games every year. Why? I don't know. Okay, it's the same game year after year after year. My kids are still playing RBI Baseball from 2017 on the Nintendo Switch. Okay, it is what it is. Some of basically the entire Call of Duty fan base. Yeah. Bro has AMD. He said Team Red in real life and in game. I've got AMD. I have AMD for everything in this one, and then my kid's computer is Intel and NVIDIA. My wife's computer is AMD and NVIDIA, but I need to get her a new processor, so I might get Intel. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. She doesn't use it for anything beyond like Cricut and Corel Draw and, a couple of like Canva and stuff. Nothing graphics intensive, at least not that high. They don't know how to optimize Unreal. Oh, we'll get to that too. He says, let's see here. I'm going to go back up. I probably skipped ahead. If you're running Windows 10, I wish I was running Windows 10. I hate Windows 11. Try enabling hardware scheduling using your graphics driver settings. We've seen a lot of Windows 10 users get an immediate 25 to 50% frames per second boost just from that, as default settings in Windows 10 aren't optimized for a 2025 game on modern hardware. Another one, I play with volumetric fog turned off. I like the performance boost I get there, and I personally don't think volumetric fog adds enough to be worth it. Some folks on the team think it's super important for visuals, and in a few scenes, it's not worth the trade-off for me. If you have a DLSS option, use it, especially if you're trying to run at resolutions higher than 1080p. This is a campaign game. You're not competing in a high-stakes esports here. The input latency is so insanely negligible. I would be that less than 0.01% of the population could reliably detect it without tools and a blind test. Take the W on a frame rate and use this incredible tech with DLSS. I don't even know if I use DLSS, to be honest, right? I have no idea. Virgin AMD user versus Chat NVIDIA enjoyer. Hey now. Sports gamers are weird. Yeah, they can be. They certainly can be. Windows 10 is dying next month. Well, isn't it just that they're discontinuing like they're no longer supporting it? You don't have to upgrade, do you? Good morning, EU folks, and good evening, NA folks. Hey, good morning, H. Brown. Latest coming out for Windows 11, Microsoft's going to start showing full-page ads at system startups to coax you into other Microsoft products. Are you serious?
You can point to and say, "Hey,
are you freaking kidding me right now?"
This many dollars worth.
Wow.
It's the same thing with Pokemon fans. They buy slop.
No kidding, Lugia. Thanks for the 2, buddy. Oh my gosh. You know, that's the thing about Pokemon games, too. It's like, I've seen a lot of them. I've owned none of them. I bought my kids one Pokemon game a few years ago. They barely play it, and they all seem to be exactly the same. Chicken nuggets, because you're apparently a 43-year-old kid. There ain't nothing wrong with midnight or 1 a.m. chicken nuggets. So when my wife and I were dating, we lived just far enough apart that if I'd stay at her parents' house like super late after work on a Saturday, I'd have to drive home at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And so I would swing through like a Burger King or whatever on the way home. And I would sometimes just get like a milkshake and chicken nuggets, or chicken nuggets and, you know, like fries or whatever, or maybe ice cream and chicken nuggets and dip stuff in the ice cream. That was the only way I stayed awake on the way home. You do have to upgrade? Oh, dang. All right, I came across a post saying RTX 5090 Borderlands 4 is I saw that one, sub 60 frames per second on high settings. What the F are they expecting us to run the game on, NASA computers? You know, Mari, I don't think it's that dangerous, to be honest, for the average YouTuber. It's a lot worse to be people like Charlie Kirk, where you're actually out in public. Me being an anonymous person online, keeping to myself, I mean, sure, opinions can get you into hot water with some people. The worst that can happen for me is a ban on YouTube or Twitch. And again, guys, we're not streaming to Twitch right now. So I'm taking an indefinite hiatus on Twitch until things change over on that platform. So basically, I might never be on Twitch ever again. Oh, yeah, the Dino Nuggets are awesome. They slap. No lie. All right, he says there's a hardware RT lighting setting that you can also toggle to earn some frames. Check that out. I know, here's the thing. Here's where you go. I know a lot of you are dead set on playing at 4K with Ultramax settings and using 2 or 3-year-old hardware. You do you, but BL4 and UE5 are doing a lot, and for me, that trade-off for frames isn't worth it. I play at 1440p with settings super high, and I'm super happy with that trade-off. The game looks amazing at 1440p. If you're not 4K stubborn and just want to have a great fun time with higher performance, please consider running at 1440p resolution. If you've got a beast of a video card, you're probably fine at 4K. But if you're in the middle or close to minimum specs, I would definitely recommend making that trade. Here is the community note on this. It says recommended specs for Borderlands 4 are an NVIDIA 3080 and an Intel Core i7 12700, which are 5 years old and 3 years old respectively. Most gamers expect a game to run at optimal performance when using the recommended hardware. Again, this is very much the issue that we're seeing. Is he doesn't seem to understand why people are so critical of the performance. I can agree and understand with what he's saying in the fact that, again, if you don't have the best hardware, don't expect the best performance. I've been there. I have been there where when I buy a new game on Steam, like Black Myth Wukong or any other like first-person shooter, look, I've tried to play Stalker on my computer, Stalker 2, and that game was 140 gigabytes of slog on my computer. I couldn't even see the enemies because they were disappearing. I was getting like 3 frames per second. It was terrible, right? It was awful. That being said, that's on me because clearly the game was not going to work on my old graphics card. But the reality is I'm finding beard hair in my keyboards, guys. This is disgusting. Wow. That is a white beard hair. Okay. I'm slightly worried now. I can't even remember what I was saying now. All right, so this guy here says, or just an idea, make your game look good without relying on AI upscaling. Now, the AI upscaling is something, like I said, Stalker, I barely know her, that I've talked about for a while. I don't know how I feel about the idea of creating artificial frames. I get it. If it works, it works. And if it helps the programmers, if it helps the developers, if it helps the graphics card itself run the game at a better performance and they create artificial frames, that's fine. I hate the idea. I would rather they just code the game properly from the first place, or don't tell people that what the minimum specs are and then try to lie about it to them later on. He ends up crashing out every major Gearbox release. That's what it seems like. It's one thing I look forward to with Gearbox game launches. And Cassie, I didn't have any like grudge against him. I've covered the Borderlands stuff because he's been crashing out. That's the only reason I even cover it. I don't have any history with the game. I had no intention of buying the game. I don't care if the game succeeds or fails. I thought we're going to have an argument about whether the game should be $70 or $80, but I'm not the publisher. I have no control over that. And then you release a $140 collector edition without the actual copy of the game attached to that. It's just insane. It's super crazy. Call them Chrome. I don't think I can call these chrome. They're pretty white. I got a few years on you. Even people with better hardware are having those issues, right? I think that's honestly what it comes down to. He's going senile live. I could be. I very well could be. I don't mind them, but they should be extra. They should be the thing to push beyond the bare minimum, but let's say 60 FPS, not the thing to push. Hey guys, you know, the funny part is, the thing about FPS, you're looking at a guy who's using a monitor that's like 5 years old. I don't know what my refresh rate is. It's a 27 inch. No, I've got a 24 inch monitor. I don't even have a 27 inch. I don't care about HD. I don't care about 4K. I just want the game to run well. And what I'm reading is that even on lower settings, it seems like my computer might still struggle with this game. I don't know. I was curious about it. Like if it was a game that, it didn't launch on Game Pass, right? No, I don't think it did. If it had launched where I could easily play it, I might have taken a look at it, but I just don't care enough. It just makes everything so blurry and looks like shit. Dude, Matt Adam, Randy's on record. I'm pretty sure he said that there's no motion blur in the game because they don't mess with that stuff. They don't like motion blur. Upscaling in DLSS should only be to prolong older hardware's viability. I shouldn't have to use these software features on my yeah, Cass, you got a. Anybody who doesn't know Cult Classic Cage, she dropped a lot of money. I'm talking $4,000, I'm guessing, somewhere around there on that PC, but that thing it's legit. Only thing I care about is if my monitor is 4K, I don't care about 120 frames. At some points, it's going to look good, and you're talking about tweaking things to get a few more frames or whatever. It's not going to make that big of a difference, right? I've been growing my beard since I was in my 20s. Well, I didn't have a beard in my 20s. I didn't grow a beard until I was in my late 20s to early 30s, I think. So, got a weird situation with Mafia: The Old Country. Game's so poorly optimized, the auto detect makes my settings high. But if I put them lower, the FPS does not charge at all, or change at all. Oh, interesting. Oh yeah, no, Mari, she went big. How many SSDs do you have in that thing? Like 3 or 4? I can't remember. I was watching you as your parts were coming in on Twitter, and I'm like, that thing's insane. Like, I've been debating with ordering a third SSD because all of mine are 1 and 2 terabytes, and I'm like, $120? I don't know. I don't really feel like spending that much money. All right. So his response to this person said, code your own engine and show us how it's done, please. We will be your customer when you pull it off. The people doing it now and are clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing, facts. And all the support and recommendations in code and architecture from the world's greatest hardware companies and tech companies working with the world's greatest real-time graphics engine coders don't know what you seem to know, /sarcasm, right? So the crazy part about this is we heard when Daniel Vavra and Warhorse Studio was talking about how the guys at CD Projekt Red didn't know how to use UE5 when they were switching off of their system. This is not like a crazy thing. All right, Jordan, take it easy, buddy. Forgot to text you back the other day. I'll text you later. Yeah, give those kids a kiss for me. Let's see, I have 2 in mind. I want 1 more. Game reaches 60 FPS, but stutters and drops so much. Dang. Yeah, H. Brown, the funny thing is, Cass was playing Mafia. I wonder if she had the same issues with that or not. You grew yours at 18. I didn't feel comfortable with a beard that young. For some weird reason, it's taking me to get to this point where I'm just like, you know what? I'm just that short guy with a beard. Oh, well. I don't even care now. Like, I wake up some days and I'm just like, all right, put some beard oil in it. Just kind of do that. All right, we're good to go. Yeah, Jordan is somebody that I met 4 years ago now on Twitch through a common friend on Twitch, and it turned out that we knew another person on Twitch, like, inadvertently, and I actually was in Jordan's wedding in October a couple of years back, so that was a fun trip out to Oklahoma. Never been to Oklahoma before, but Oklahoma's a lot of fun. Good save for an SSD, Samsung Black, 1 terabyte for $79. 1 terabyte. But I wanted a 2 terabyte. I reckon there's a PC that can run BL4 on 60 frames per second at 4K, but also you could use the CPU of that PC to cook scrambled eggs. Yeah, a little bit. Don't need to be a mechanic to know there's something wrong. Yep. No, honestly, Cult Classic, you made the right choice there. Taking things in and out of your computer over and over and over and again, it's like, it's fun the first couple of times that you upgrade, but after 4 years, I've decided I was going to put LED lights in my computer case, And replacing all the LED fans, or the old fans with the LED, and then trying to figure out why they couldn't get them to all light up, why I couldn't control them, ordering separate things to actually control the fans. It was a nightmare. I wish I had done it all from the very beginning. Shaved with a 3mm beard to look like Brad Pitt. No, I'll look like Steve Carell off The Office. UE5 literally depends on frame gen to get what feels like the deserved experience reflecting your PC specs. It's sad. Oh yeah, Burner, dude, Oklahoma was so much freaking fun, man. We had such a great time. Spent the entire 3-4 days eating because there were so many, over in Enid, Oklahoma, there were so many places to eat. It was crazy. Mari, I'm not worried about getting more subs. I'm not trying to look pretty for subs. Okay. Oh, man. Hey, DB, the first time I shaved, I was 11. Okay. My son, he's 12 now. And he's still putting it off. He's got his little tiny baby mustache, and he doesn't want to shave. I'm like, boy, if you shave now, you'll start growing facial hair faster. Okay. All right, so another person said, what 3- and 4-year-old hardware? What were the specs? It's great you're offering help, but it would have been better to build it for the most common hardware in the first place. This, again, is criticism we've seen, I think, from Tim Sweeney over at Epic Games, that people who are making games on Unreal Engine are not making them for the common hardware. They're making it for the high-end stuff and then not properly optimizing it for, again, the lower-end stuff that the average person has. Look, the funniest part was when Doom the Dark Ages came out, and I was saying, look, it's on Game Pass. Great. My computer should be able to run it based on the specs. My card doesn't have ray tracing, so I can't, right? And people were like, well, why do you have a 5-year-old card? All the cards nowadays have ray tracing. And I'm like, look, guys, here's the thing. Based on required specifications, regardless of ray tracing or not, my card would have run the game. The problem was they built it where ray tracing was a requirement and my card didn't have native ray tracing. If ray tracing wasn't something that was such a crutch for some of these developers and it wasn't enabled where it had to be on all the time, I could have played the game no problem on my computer. So now that I have the card that'll run the game, I don't have any desire to play Doom. That's just kind of how it goes. Misty Mountains when he gets the fire going. Dude, if I could sing that Ed Sheeran song, I See Fire from The Hobbit, my wife would be totally jazzed, but I don't sing. Like, I can sing it, like, I can hold a tune, but that's about it. Gunfire Reborn, I don't know about that one, Luigi. I'll have to take a look. Lost all my hair, that's my story at age 25 plus. LED lights are for kids. No, but they're fun. They're fun. It adds, okay, so my case is, the thing is, I have a really ugly computer case. And so for me, it was like I spent 4 years with no lights at all inside my computer. And I'm just like, you know what? We're gonna light this sucker up. The thing's covered in stickers too. If you ever go on Discord or on Twitter, I have some pictures of my PC case. I started putting a couple stickers like from gun companies and part companies from gun stores and stuff. Then my daughter made me put this gigantic Squishmallow bee on my computer case. Now I've just got random stickers all over it. It's insane. All right, so it says here from Randy, the minimum and recommended specs are published. The most common hardware is a 4-year-old cell phone. What? Borderlands 4 is a premium game made for premium. Oh, here we go. Here's that my game is worth $300 conversation that he said. You guys remember that just a couple weeks ago, he said that his game is easily worth 5 times the retail price, right? Just as Borderlands 4 cannot run on a PlayStation 4, it cannot be expected to run on too old PC hardware. Unlike on PlayStation and Xbox, we cannot prevent a PC player with suboptimal hardware for the game to try to play it. So some try to get mad, and some have actual issues we need to fix, and some need to learn how their PCs work at the high end for the specific game in 2025, and use the tools available to them to find the right balance between frame rate, resolution, and graphics features. Let me remind this guy. I played Black Myth Wukong on my previous graphics card on my 5600 XT. I didn't have to tweak the settings. I was getting 80 frames per second on the medium setting for graphics. Well, Matt Adam, you got to understand, the stickers came before the LED lights. The stickers was like, I got a glass case and an ugly computer case. I'm just going to throw some stickers on there. And they're gun companies, man. It's like you got Palmetto State, we got Ruger, we got Magpul. I got Primary Arms. I got Aero Precision for my AR upper, you know? Actually, my lower, take that back. But yeah, the Squishmallow, I couldn't say no. My daughter wanted, she's like, can you put this on there? I'm like, fine, I'll do it. People who decorate their computers with stickers are akin to people who load their vehicles. No, I disagree. And part of it's because this case is a $60 case. I don't care. It's an ugly ass case. If it was a nice computer case, I would agree with you. My wife's case, I got her the bubblegum pink drop pod for her computer case. It's all white and black on the inside with a couple LED lights. It is beautiful. Fantastic computer case. I will never let her put a sticker on it. Ever. I would tell her no if she tried. Unless we did like one of those vinyl things where you do like the little like coral or something, like an actual design on it. That's pretty cool. Same with my kid's computer case. When I rebuilt my kid's computer from the Lenovo that we got at Costco, and I rebuilt them a computer into a small case, it's just a nice clean glass case. It's pretty. There's no stickers on it, but it's got some LED fans. So, oh yeah, no, dude, stickers on a car are the worst thing ever. It's a mistake. It's terrible. All right, so he says here, this is not a game made to run on 10-year-old PCs. Again, not the argument. Nobody's saying it should run on a 10-year-old PC. The game uses the full capabilities of a modern bus, CPU, and GPU. If you're trying to drive a monster truck with a leaf blower's motor, you're going to be disappointed. If you discover your system can't run the game well by accident or wishful thinking and/or don't want to try to mess with settings to make things good enough for you, please use the refund feature on Steam rather than have a subpar experience. Again, I can understand to a certain degree. To a certain degree. All right, appreciate you, NS. Take it easy, buddy. I can understand to a certain degree what he's saying. Like, I get it. Telling people you have to be aware of your hardware you're using when you're a PC gamer makes total sense, right? But it goes beyond that. Oh no, it's Alex says, Buddy's out here fighting for his life and tweets instead of fixing the game. Dude really needs to hire a PR person. Let's see. Big Fry says, 4K stubborn F off Ranty. Look, again, I think there's an argument to be made for both sides of it. I can understand saying, look, you can only optimize it so well for like a potato PC. Yes, there are people who will try to play a game that's a current year game on a potato. It's probably not going to work well. But we're talking again, mid-range PC. They're not optimizing it for the average PC. They're trying to optimize for the high end first. Why does the premium game look worse than earlier Borderlands? Exactly. People have pointed out that Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 4 look virtually the same, right? Let's see. You know, they want you to buy that super duper deluxe pointless edition for $130. So Randy still wins. I hate that. Maybe on deep sale, instant gaming year or two, but maybe. Yeah, I mean, like I said, unless you have a true like ideological problem with Randy Pitchford where you hate his guts or whatever and stuff, that's one thing. And if that convinces you not to buy the game, this man tweets way too much. I don't want to read all this. Holy crap. That's your decision to make. I didn't care if the game succeeded or failed. I just thought the entire hypocrisy of this, where he wanted to claim, oh, you see, it's not our fault if the game's $80, but it's worth it. It's worth $300. And then, it comes out for 70. He's like, see, guys, we did you a service. It's only $70 instead of 80. Bella Ramsey. Hey, Burnham, good morning. Yeah, so here's a new one from yesterday, last night. Every PC gamer must accept the reality of the relationship between their hardware and what the software they are running is doing. He got another community note again. Publisher of a game is responsible for providing accurate recommend and minimal specs, since the consumers have absolutely no way to check how the game is going to run in the hardware before release. Facts. 100% facts. Meaning the 9070 XT would be a bust to play this game on. Truth, I don't know. Like, my 9060 XT. Would it run the game? Oh, Avernum, it's Bitchford again. Every time. Hey, Metastep, appreciate you. Yeah, Moxie's awesome. Love Jess. She's awesome. She's been great. Known her for years. Game's a bloody cartoon. Why does it need such crazy HP? I don't know. I can't understand it. I have seen many people make this point. That's like, okay, this game's graphics are garbage. They're ass. Okay, it's like the way I feel about this game's, graphics is the pirate software thing,
Oh shit! Now this is actually really dumb. That's awful, dude. No, eat my entire ass. This shit sucks.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. It's like, and I've been the one I've said before. Look, I've been very critical of graphics and animation styles and art styles in games in the past, to the point where I haven't played them. Like, I hated the art style of Wind Waker, and years later I'm like, Wind Waker was actually a better game than I thought it was. And then, of course, Sea of Thieves. I wouldn't play Sea of Thieves with my friends because I hated the art style. Played Sea of Thieves a couple times. I loved the game, and then my friends and I stopped playing it, and that sucked. But at the same time, it's like, the reality is, for the art style we're talking about, it shouldn't be the most like the hardest game to run. It really shouldn't. It shouldn't be the hardest game to optimize. So, of course, down here he says, we've made an amazing and fun and huge looter-shooter campaign game. The game is pretty damn optimal, which means that the software is doing what we want without wasteful cycles on bad processes. With Borderlands 4, every PC gamer has a lot of tools to balance their preferences. If you aren't happy with the balance between these things you're experiencing, please tune to your preferences using the tools available. We appreciate the high degree of passion and excitement there is for the game. Well, of course you do. You got 300,000 schmucks playing it. For a campaign shooter looter, it's absolutely reasonable for developers to focus on default settings, achieving 30 frames per second on minimum specification and 60 on recommended. But he's not going to get 60 on recommended, that's the problem. Some of you would prefer more FPS or more features or higher resolution. We provided many tools to help you make those trade-offs. It's a mistake to believe or expect that PCs between minimum specification and recommended specs can achieve all of extremely high frame rate, maximum ultra features, and extremely high resolution. If that last post makes you have a negative reaction, I bet you have emotions and expectations that you feel aren't sufficiently attended to. I'm sorry, but please accept that the game is doing a lot and running pretty optimally, and that you may have to either accept some trade-offs between FPS, features, and resolution as your preference, or you'll continue to be disappointed. And again, in theory, I get it. See if these nuts fit in your mouth. What? Oh my god. Yeah, you get out of here, NS. Get out of here. A stylized game that uses no RT should be not demanding this much. No, it really shouldn't. It really shouldn't. Let me see here. There are a few real issues, but they're affecting a very, very small percentage of users. That's why the game is sitting at 63%, right? We're fixing those, and many are already fixed. Remind you, this game had a day one patch like all these other games to fix a whole bunch of performance issues they had. We're also doing significant work on PC for performance, and well, everything else that is coming at us, we're not stopping. If you have feelings about PC performance, my advice is to not wait and to make the trade-offs, to prioritize what's important to you. If it's FPS, God, this guy's long-winded. You can get high FPS by turning some features down. If it's resolution, yada yada. Use DLSS. It's great. The game was built to take advantage of it. This is not a competitive FPS. He's already said this before. And I've been led to believe that in a blind test that humans cannot detect any input lag. In my own demonstrates and experiments, I believe this is true. Everyone has the freedom to believe what they want. I know on the internet it's easy to find rage and passionate people who are convinced of all the things, of whether they're true or not. If you're attached to the idea that DLSS is bad for your game experience because of something you saw or read on the internet, I'm sorry. I hope instead you would use technology design to give you the experience you want. But you do you, and we'll keep working. The more people that play, the more data we get, and the easier it is to keep making improvements. If you think you have a different kind of issue, please reach out to customer service. I personally done some CS for Borderlands 4 and have helped a lot of people. And thank you for your passion. I know nobody posts anything unless they really cared about something. Yada yada. So Notch over here, dude that made Minecraft. Okay, this is big britches dude here. Okay, big dick swing coming in. Comes up here and says, "Be a man, dude." Straight up, be a man. And ratios the absolute living hell out of him. 9.7 thousand likes. Okay, completely destroyed him in like 12 hours. Randy responds, every man must accept the reality of the relationship between their gender and what the software they are running is doing. Masculinity is a shader option. Try turning it off if you like to tune to your own performance. Again, trying to be funny, but I mean, he just got destroyed. Has Denuvo right? Well, the thing is, they tried to lie for years and say Denuvo has no effect on performance. When it does, they've done tests side by side, and they know that it has an effect. Tired games based on that style, it worked 15 years ago and worked 6 years ago. For some reason, the game looks the same. Chugs like hell, right? Demos and no day one patches. Witcher 4 is going to run on UE5, PS5, 60 frames all the time, smooth, right? No, I would not even expect it to be honest. Scared for Blood of the Dawnwalker? That depends on if the guys over at Rebel Wolves actually know what they're doing. If those were the guys that left CDPR who actually know how to use UE5, then it won't be an issue. But if they don't know how to optimize it, and if they don't optimize it for lower end hardware, then yes, of course it's going to be an issue. Denuvo drags down nearly every game. It's part of fact. Yeah, plus it'll have Denuvo, and who knows what else spyware in the EU, LA. Very shady. I mean, I hate all that, guys. Trust me, I'm on board with that. It's just, we're right now in that situation where, unless we want to start another boycott and say, I'm not buying any game that has Denuvo or anything else like that, and then there's only going to be like 1% of us who sit out and 99% still buy the games, that's one that I don't know how you win. I don't know how you win the Denuvo battle about getting people to ditch Denuvo. I don't see it. There are a few games that have come out, notable exceptions in the last couple of years. I can't recall them off the top of my head. That's how rare they are. That opted to not use Denuvo, but it's very, very rare. So, Synth Potato here says, Randy Pitchford is genuinely the worst thing to happen to Borderlands 4's reputation. There'd be 90% less outrage if he simply stopped tweeting and not actively trying to blame people for their cel-shaded game running worse than Cyberpunk 2077 with path tracing turned on. Facts. I think that's really the thing. Let's see here. Performance issues aren't even the main problem. It's that he's gaslighting the community pretending there's no issues. 100%. Don't forget to Google Randy Pitchford USB. Yeah, that USB thing. That was when he had a USB drive full of spicy content at work, right? Legacy Killer says, best Borderlands game in years, massive performance issues, tons of gamers criticize. We're working on it is all that needed to be said. Instead, premium game for premium gamers, code your own engine, get better hardware. Randy Pitchford, his own worst enemy. Last night, the sweatiest gaming exec, Schizo, posted again in a 20-tweet thread that basically amounts to barely any gamers have reported issues, so there isn't many, and just use frame gen and AI upscale and just accept trade-offs must be made. He's lost it, total narcissist, 100%. And again, I know that we've got some people on Discord, and we've got some people, I'm sure, who watch my stuff on here who think the game's great, it runs fine, he makes sense, and I agree. Some of the things Randy has said, I would agree with, if we didn't have other things to be concerned about. And if, again, they weren't trying to gaslight people into thinking that nobody's having these issues. Borderlands 4 devs are continually bashing PC players, saying their rigs aren't powerful enough for the settings that they are targeting. Even if that was true, it's not. Why does it run like this on console in a slightly heavy scene, not even as heavy as it can get? The game's a hot mess in terms of performance on all platforms, and even top-end rigs are struggling. So here's an interesting thing. He says that this is on console? Says, I made a short updated benchmark run with PS5. Okay, so this is PS5.
Performance is just a lot more inconsistent when there's a lot happening on the screen, right? Especially during these boss battles. So a lot of people commented and pointed this out, and yes, correct, the game does get more demanding the further you play, or depending on which area you are benchmarking.
Yeah, I'm shocked, honestly, that there are that many people who are enjoying this game. If I'm being honest, like, again, I've said before, I'll say it again, I've been a Puritan when it comes to art style. I'm not that way anymore. Play whatever you like. There's a lot of games with different art styles that are fantastic games, so the more the merrier. But I don't understand the appeal of this franchise or the art style that they use.
And I did leave a pinned comment saying that, you know, like it's typical. You can't just judge the whole game's performance based on a 2-minute run. The performance will vary on PC, on console, like it doesn't matter, right? But I think I kind of understand what you guys are
yeah, I mean, at least this down here is just him tracking the frame rates. To be fair, that's not, that wouldn't be in there during the game.
Include stuff like this, boss battles, and more demanding areas.
But there's so much on the screen. If you take away the performance mode thing at the top right and the bar.
That's something that I'm very used to. I've been doing this for about 4 years now. Mostly PC, well, actually only PC. So console stuff is a little bit new to me. So give me some time, I'll improve, I'll learn what you guys want, and hopefully we can build a community together. Alright, that's going to be a very short video. I just wanted to show you that yes, the game does not run at a locked 60 frames per second depending on the area. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video.
Yeah, the frames were dipping down massively. And this is from mostly positive reviews. I've never watched his stuff, but let me see here. Mudahar, even Mudahar, the fake engineer, coming in here. Cyberpunk will not even start the first day out. Well, at least, I mean, to be fair, at least this game isn't having, like, game-breaking bugs and stuff is what we're gonna hear. I mean, this is performance issues, right? Number one, this is performance and optimization issues. Cyberpunk, I saw the craziest shit coming out of that game that I've ever seen. But yeah, Mudahar comes in and says the game isn't even locked to FPS, 60 FPS on the console. It's unoptimized, Randy. Go and brush up on the magic skills. Yeah, so again, we're hearing that there are massive console issues. And then you have this article here from PC Gamer. Says, I fixed Borderlands 4's stuttering issue by upping my shader cache size to 100 gigabytes, which feels like something I shouldn't have to do in a well-optimized game. That's insane. I wouldn't even know how to go about upping my shader cache. Like, I have no idea. Some people were having issues opening the game. Oh, that's crazy. They've said doing this sort of comic book looking cell shade art takes up more resources than just 3D rendered realism. That's insane. Why? Yeah, it's a game-breaking bug in my eyes. Monster Hunter Wilds, that was another one. You're right. That was crazy. But yeah, 100 gigabytes for his shader cache. That is unreal. No pun intended. Absolutely crazy. And then, of course, Legacy Killer also pointing out, here, I'm going to pause this video. There are 70 Borderlands 4 reviews right now. 69 giggity on PC. Something is suspicious here. Console performance like the below clip is horrendous and unacceptable. So did reviewers get console codes, or did Gearbox try hiding all this? I'd love to see Randy Pitchford defend this. So this is from Alex Ferris on Twitter. Says, in-game Harlow is virtually unplayable right now on Xbox. So he's playing this on Xbox here. This is such an unappealing game to look at. I'm sorry. Oh my god, dude. I have no idea, D-Mop. I have no clue. Well, here's that 1 FPS we were talking about. Holy crap. The high vibrancy of colors. It's also why it seems to happen with more realistic games. Dude, that was the thing about the Hellblade 2, and I was so stoked about Hellblade 2. Hellblade 1 was an awesome game. Not my usual game I would play, but I thought the story was fantastic. Music and just the atmosphere was great. And then the second game was complete hot garbage. Mari, have a good flight. Stay safe. Let me see. My Nintendo Switch runs better than this. Although lately when my kids play some games on this Switch, now our Switch is like 7 years old or however long it's been since that came out, it starts to say that it's overheating, so. Oh. Have a good time, Mari. This whole shader cache thing is a cancer in gaming. Never even seen it before. One day, suddenly, every single AAA slop decided that it needed it, only to stutter like hell afterwards. Hey, Vernum, it was the funniest thing. I don't remember when it first happened. The very first time I booted up a PC game, and I'm like, what are shaders? I have no idea. Like, why? What do we need these for? And that's like, oh yeah, lighting and textures. Those are kind of important. So Legacy Killer also says, if you didn't know, Borderlands 4 boss Randy Pitchford has a lot of talents, including being a USB enjoyer, magician, and musician. Here's a performance at Borderlands PAX events years ago in which he tried to sing the Bigot song. I don't even want to play this. This guy here says Randy Pitchford is who people think Neil Druckmann is. Also, I'm really struggling to hit play on that video. Not sure if it's something I want to subject myself to. Same! I'm right there with you. I really don't want to play it. First time I've seen it was Callisto Protocol. Oh, that was one that I skipped. Trying to be at 3 places at once, Empress? Good luck with that. You might want to get into cloning. The guitar thing is so cringe. All right, I'm gonna play it. I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm just gonna hit play.
Nobody likes talking to... You know what? I'm gonna sing it an octave higher, because you guys are worth it. Let's try that. Nobody likes talking to a drunk unless he's buying. Nobody says hello when they're goodbying unless they're Hawaiian. Nobody tastes eggs and bacon when they're frying. That'd just be dumb, you'd probably burn your tongue. And nobody likes a bigot unless he's crying. Boo-hoo.
Wow.
Nobody much likes it when the neighbors are always prying. Nobody really likes Meg Ryan movies that much, do they? Except Meg Ryan. And even she's not really sure these days. Nobody likes the CIA, always spying and running right-wing paramilitary death squads. Nobody likes a bigot unless he's crying. Boo-hoo, like a big baby. Boo-hoo, well. Most people hate bigots because they're assholes, right? Judgmental agents of fear. You know who probably hates bigots even more? Who, Randy? Themselves. When shedding a tear and crying like a gator with self-loathing and low self-esteem.
I have no words, guys. I have no idea how to respond to that. You know, to be honest, the only thing more cringe, I have to say the only thing more cringe than this right here is this.
Did I just do that?
Well, definitely with my assistance.
I did not just do that.
We did.
I just moved shit with my mind.
Perhaps our connection has somehow awoken some abilities.
I just moved shit with my mind.
I just keep hearing I.
I just moved shit with my freaking mind!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But believe it or not, I think the clip from Forspoken is less cringe than Randy right now. My honest opinion is that Unreal started to go downhill when the film and automotive industry decided to chip into the development and the real-time rendering got sidelined by production rendering. Yeah, very possible. Very possible. All right, so this was a thing that happened apparently. All right, so let's go through the Hasan stuff real fast so we can get to Bethesda before it gets super late. I know, guys, I'm sorry. I've had that sitting there on my Stream Deck for like months. I just wanted to push the button once. All right, so we talked about this Hasan clip on the stream, I want to say on Thursday night or maybe back on Monday, right? Evidence that Hasan has been calling for violence against people either explicitly or implicitly, or just trying to do the coded language thing for years. Gutting people. I mean, we've seen all the examples. So Tectone shared this again and said, Twitch is corrupt and needs immediate action. Twitch, you must ban Hasan. This is part of why I will not be back on Twitch. And I know, NS pointed out earlier in the stream, Hasan's not getting banned. I'm aware of that. Twitch will go under before Hasan gets banned. But if that's what it takes, that's going to be what it takes. I just refuse to have a presence on Twitch while he has not been punished severely or permanently for the things that he has said and endorsed on stream. So I'm not going to bother playing the clip. You guys, I'm sure most of you have seen the clip before. It's just Hasan calling for violence against people. So he's been spurging out. You got this guy, Jason Palladino, here saying Elon reposting his anti-Semitic anime profile picture account attacking Hasan. Oh, Solianath. I haven't seen this person's account here. Hasan Piker's been allowed to stay on Twitch while making calls to violence and violating their terms of service because Dan Clancy is his friend. Owned by Amazon, major contractor with the Department of War, he has asked hundreds of thousands of viewers to commit murder. Fact, he has. Hasan has called for that. Let me see here. What else you got? Let me see. Oh, these are just proof that the guy is anti-Semitic. Okay. So that's what he cares about the most, even though Hasan himself is pretty anti-Semitic. And again, I don't care about the term. Throw it around as loosely or as liberal or as conservatively as you want. It doesn't bother me either way. Hasan says the richest dude on the planet spends most of his time on his social media website fomenting white supremacist hatred, trying to spark race riots while highlighting out-of-context clip compilations to imply a leftist Twitch streamer should be deplatformed or worse. So dumb. Now remember, Hasan has also said that Asmongold has called for violence against him, despite the fact that he has not. Asmongold has never called for violence against Hasan. Hasan claims he's been banned on Twitch more than your favorite edgy streamer. Okay?
Also, once again, I've been banned more times than all of your favorite fucking edgy streamers. So that's what's hilarious about this process, where people will be like, you just get slaps on the wrist. Bro, I get banned more than your favorite fucking gamers that love using gamer words and shit, okay?
That is false. Gamers on Twitch don't use the gamer words. They don't. LSF, I don't know who that is, pointed out that one of Tectone, who's been famously banned on Twitch multiple times, one of his bans was as long as all of Hasan's bans combined since he started streaming. You can see right here in this... wow, my internet's being really slow. You got Hasan's bans, 7 days, 23 hours, and 1 day. And I think Tectone was banned for several weeks or a month one time. It's been a combination of multiple weeks easily. I don't think any context will justify the gut them. Dude, he was talking about a political debate. So again, he could argue that just like you say, you know, fight like hell in a political rally, he could have been arguing that he meant gut them ideologically, politically, in a debate, whatever context you want. It still doesn't justify the language because he's done it multiple times. Let the streets run red with the blood of the capitalists. And I mean, he's said this kind of shit multiple times. Oh yeah, no, Empress, you're not a fan of Hasan. Here you go, Tectone saying, Hasan, me calling your lord friend, that's fantastic, lord. Hijab the Hutt fat got me banned longer than you've ever been banned on your history on this platform. Shut the F up, you fraud. If any of your audience fact-checked the shit spewing out of your mouth, you wouldn't have a career. And it's true, Hasan's audience doesn't do a whole lot of fact-checking, if we're being clear. Hasan, again, sharing a screenshot and quote tweeting Elon Musk for tagging Jeff Bezos. It says, you're such a weirdo, man. Talking about how if you were unfairly treated by your employer due to posting or liking something on his platform, we'll fund your legal bill. Trying to say that what Elon Musk is doing now is the same thing that he fought against with the whole Gina Carano case a couple of years ago. Again, no. Gina Carano never called for violence against anybody. Hasan says the asymmetry of acceptable violence also exists in speech. Interesting that a direct call to action to violently take care of pro-Palestinian protesters exercising their First Amendment by a senator is not seen as violent, as opposed to a meme schematic and the QR or the quote retweets as a response. But again, Hasan, you know what you're doing. And again, I'm not dabbling into the Israel-Palestine crap. Other people can fight about that. Hasan calls Elon Musk a slop tuber, even though Elon Musk is not a tuber of any kind.
Why hasn't he banned you on Twitter then? I don't even want to test that because he's so petty he would. You know what I mean? He is so petty he would do that, and I still use Twitter as a primary mode of communication, so I don't want him to get any ideas. But yeah, it's the same principle behind he's like a slop tuber. Okay? He's like a fucking slop tuber. On the one hand, what do slop tubers do? Well, they'll be like, Hasan is a terrorist. On the other hand, they'll be like, he has a nice car and he's a socialist. It's like these two things don't make sense. Like, am I a terrorist or am I like a fake socialist? And also, are you a real socialist?
No, Hasan, you're not a terrorist because you don't have the balls to be a terrorist. That's very clear.
Do you see what I mean? Like, these guys love being like, this is a dangerous radical who must be deplatformed off of Twitch, but he's also literally, he's also just...
Oh, also worth pointing out, the Charlie Kirk shooter that had Ciao Bella, or Bella Ciao, however you say the stupid communist song. Was it communist or fascist? I can't remember which song it was that they were talking about, where it started. But the same song that they were singing in his Twitch chat was the one that was inscribed on the bullet that the shooter used to kill Charlie Kirk. So again, it's relevant.
He's fine to be on the platform, but he's dangerous and should be deplatformed on Twitch.
He's very bad at making like correlations, trying to like making comparisons and stuff. What he just said there doesn't make any sense. You can be both. You can be a socialist and a fake terrorist, and you can still be encouraging violence on the platform. It doesn't matter who you are. And again, this was the post that Hasan shared in response to Tom Cotton saying, I encourage people who get stuck behind pro-Hamas mobs blocking traffic, take matters in your own hands to get them out of the way. Again, maybe a bad look by Tom Cotton, even if I agree with it. And then, of course, he shared this picture of the gun that was used to kill, I believe this one that was used to kill Shinzo Abe. So, Elon Musk again, paging Jeff Bezos. Next, Taku saying, Dear Elon Musk, Hasan Piker called for the death of Tom Cotton. Senator Rick Scott, landlords, fascist, Zionist, said someone's got to do it regarding Trump. Supports Luigi Mangione, refuses to condemn the murder of the two Israeli staffers in D.C., stealthily justifies the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Also plays terrorist propaganda videos from Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis. He would support an IRA-style terrorist organization in the U.S. Clearly protected due to his constant violation of TOS. Threatened a viewer's life. Docks the private info of his critics. Uncritically reads terrorist manifestos. Tells his audience to threaten ICE. Participated in violent riots in LA. Stated America deserved 9/11. Has communist propaganda and false reporting. Slanders other content creators, including myself, Tectone, Ethan Klein, Asmongold. List goes on and on. I have evidence for each point. If you'd like to see more, maybe you can do something because no one else will. Italian song against fascism. There you go. I'm like, Bella Ciao would be Italian, but they were the fascists, so I'm confused there. All right, so even Nick Fuentes, I've said this the other day, I'm like, when Nick Fuentes is making decent points, I'm scared. Hasan Piker should be banned on Twitch and then deported back to Turkey. Unfortunately, he's a U.S. citizen. I think he was born here, so I don't know that he can be deported back. Before people on our side cry about hypocrisy, remember you can't say the word simp or retard on the platform. That's true. That is true. You can't say those words on Twitch. But you can openly incite murder against conservatives. Enough is enough. Again, I'm not saying that he incited murder, because again, that would be putting the responsibility of the killing on Hasan, and I don't know that. But again, I get the point that he's trying to make. Then you've got Legal Mindset saying that there's a good chance Elon Musk has already had phone calls about Hasan. I think he's talking about with Jeff Bezos.
What's up here, Jeff Bezos? So Elon Musk saw this and he watched it and he tagged Bezos. And you know he didn't just tag Bezos. People were making calls, right? Because these guys, they're all these rich people, the ultra wealthy, they are like 1 degree of separation. They've met each other. They probably have each other's numbers. This was just to show he publicly called out Bezos. I bet there was some sort of phone call here too, right? So now you've got Bezos in this. And Bezos, look, we can say what you want to say about Bezos, right? Say whatever you want to say about Bezos. But Bezos does like money, right? And Bezos wants his share, the company where most of his wealth is invested, to do well. He has his personal future. Even though he's been selling off stock, he's still the largest shareholder. He has the majority of his wealth still in those shares. He is not going to nuke his own value, right, for this. Yes, he did. He's no longer, so Bezos is no longer the CEO. He's the executive chair and largest shareholder. So he has
He does have a vested interest in, well, the thing is though, how much does Amazon really have tied up in Twitch? I understand the argument that he's trying to make. And yes, it's true. After the whole divorce that Bezos had with his last wife, where she took half his money, he was the richest man in the world. And then he became the second richest man in the world to Elon Musk after his wife and him got divorced. I can understand the argument Legal Mindset here is making. What I don't see is what the issue, like how much money does Amazon have tied up in Twitch? Obviously, we know for years Twitch has never been profitable. Amazon takes a loss on Twitch, so they're losing money. They're not making money on Twitch, sure. But are we talking that Amazon's at the point where they've lost so much money that they're just going to pull the plug? I don't know. I'd like to think it's true. I would love to think it's true. Twitch is losing money. I just don't know how much. They've never been profitable. Okay. Right. They lose them money. I just don't know the numbers. I don't know at what rate. I don't know if it's for them, if it's an acceptable amount, because it's another. I mean, Twitch has done a lot where they are really integrated into Amazon, both from like the Amazon Games part, where you get free games through Twitch for your Amazon Games account. Amazon does all these, promotional things through Twitch. Your Twitch Prime subscription through your Amazon Prime membership. So again, how they count that as part of like a Twitch revenue system, I don't know. There's a lot. I mean, the richest woman in the world became the richest from a divorce. Yes, Avernum, 100%. The richest woman in the world became the richest the minute that her and Jeff got divorced. I'm not even kidding. And I don't know if she's still the richest woman in the world or not. But now we've got this guy, Matt Morse. I have no idea who this is. He's got a lot of followers. Says, hearing from a reliable inside source that Hasan Piker is about to be permanently suspended from Twitch. A lot of money to be extorted by easily manipulated fools. 100%. Yeah. Twitch could be some sort of tax write-off. Right. Which could be why they keep it running. I've had that thought. Well, and again, I think the idea between the fact that they have Amazon Games where they wanted to start making games. And remember, Amazon did make or publish. I don't know. Did Amazon make New World or did they publish it? Because that was an Amazon Games product, if you will. So Amazon has tried getting into the gaming thing for a few years now. So it's not like this is a foreign concept for them. They want to be known for being connected to gaming, right? Permanently suspended sounds like an oxymoron. Yeah, permanently banned would be a much more apt way of putting it. Again, I don't know who this person, Matt Morse, is. I don't know what kind of clout or anything that they have. It's not community noted, so there's not anybody pointing out that this guy's been wrong about stuff in the past. Typically, that's what happens is the first time it pops up, there'll be a community note on it. Let me refresh and see if there is one. There's not. So, I don't know. They only published it. They didn't buy any studios. Okay, so they haven't actually made a game yet, huh? Oh, no, made and published it, Vernum said. Fun fact, Pirate Software worked on the game. Well, Pirate Software worked for Amazon, but he said he worked in the security and threats department, right? They call a suspension a ban and a ban a permanent suspension. Yeah, it is kind of an oxymoron. No, as far as I know, Pirate Software didn't actually work on the game development, like the actual game itself. I think his was more the IT. He said it was like IT, security, threat analysis, like other stuff. All right, I should have started with this one, guys. I held off on this one till last, and I feel like I did these ass backwards, but all right. Most of you guys have probably already seen YouTubers that you follow cover this entire thing, so we're not going to dwell on it too long. And I've actually got a follow-up to this. My developer friend sent me some information that I need to look into. So at some point tomorrow while I'm at work, I'm going to be working on an article, an investigation into another person fairly well known in the games industry. They've actually got a couple games people are going to recognize the name of that have been participating in this same kind of bullshit. And it'll be really interesting to see what comes out of this, is all I'm going to say. Amazon keeps Twitch because of its cultural influence. Yes. Helps funnel people into profitable positions, like getting Prime to donate a sub to a streamer. Yeah, Zach, it's like this whole, symbiotic, incestuous relationship that the two companies, if you will, have. Twitch could also be kept alive due to certain monopolization laws regarding companies that consider themselves influencer or streaming platforms. Rumble and YouTube are video sharing, not just streaming. Sure. You've not seen those? Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Remember him describing his experience at Amazon Games while working on New World, but I sure as hell ain't going to comb through his VODs to prove it. No, I think, because I covered this in my couple of videos I made on Pirate Software. There was recent Pirate Software drama, and I haven't even looked into it. I haven't even bothered the last 2 weeks to look into it. There was something about... I saw videos popping up about Pirate Software again, and I'm like, oh god, here we go again. Sure, my two best videos for viewership ever were both Pirate Software, but I really don't feel like going down that rabbit hole again. Like, I went down there, got kind of dirty, came back up, and I'm like, all right, that was enough of that. Gross. When people have Prime, they buy more. True. That is true. So if you can incentivize both, if you can use the Twitch Prime subscription to your favorite content creator, who ironically, guys, I don't know if you guys realize this, because I have a Twitch account, right? And I have a Twitch, I'm a Twitch affiliate, not a partner. So once you're an approved Twitch affiliate on Twitch, you're automatically, or you can apply for, or you might automatically be an affiliate on Amazon itself. So I've never done this in 5 years, and honestly, I'm kind of brain dead. I should have. You're supposed to send people to Amazon through your affiliate link on Twitch, and what happens is when they visit Amazon through your affiliate link, just like My Instant Gaming or Meta PCs or whatever, you get a percentage of the sales on Amazon. So really what they're doing is they're trying to incentivize their Twitch streamers to also encourage people shopping on Amazon. So it's kind of like this scratching both backs at the same time, if you will. Make AAA developers homeless again. That's what we're going for, unfortunately. It kind of has to be done at this point. We got bigger things happening that have time for Pirate Software. Yeah, I think we'll go back to having fun at Pirate Software's expense once things are not quite so serious. We're going through essentially round 2 of Sweet Baby Inc. detected, DEI detected, I thought, it was kicking off a couple months ago with some of this shit going on, but it really is hitting the fan right now. I thought Collective Shout was going to be like Gamergate 3. No, if we think Gamergate 2 ended and we're starting a new wave, this is it right here. So it says Bethesda tweets, and this is of course from That Park Place. Bethesda tweets and deletes video appearing to mock the Charlie Kirk tragedy. You don't care much about these fascists, do you? Now again, this is about a game that a lot of people were hesitant to play, this Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, because of the promotional material for it, where they had like this guy wearing a trans pride shirt with like bright colored hair, and he looked like he was part of the LGBT mafia. So people were worried about this game from the get-go. Also, when you try to modernize Indiana Jones, just like you modernize James Bond, you're going to downplay his raw masculinity and the way he is with women and stuff. And this is a concern for people when you're playing these classic male, macho, heterosexual characters in a video game that isn't going to be respecting the way the character was intended to be written. So obviously people were worried about the game. The game, all accounts, the game is supposedly like really, really good. People really liked the game, but very few people played it. It didn't do well. So it says, in the wake of the tragic assassination, outrage has erupted over Bethesda, a major video game studio, being accused of mocking his death online, talking about Charlie Kirk. Yes, for the modern gaming audience. Exactly, DB. The exact quote from this person in that promotional video. The post in question has since been deleted, but as of this writing, Bethesda has not issued an apology or statement addressing the backlash. This incident marks yet another case of corporate and entertainment figures wading into political territory in ways that risk alienating huge portions of their audience. With Bethesda now under fire over this potential Charlie Kirk mockery, fans are demanding answers. It's not potential, guys. It's not potential. So here's a video. Somebody actually saved it and they got it uploaded here on this article, which is awesome. Controversy began when a Bethesda producer allegedly posted on X in a way that appeared to trivialize or mock Charlie Kirk's death. The video in question was from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, a game that received critical praise for the studio. And so here is the actual clip. In fact, let me watch on X because that will allow us to enlarge it. Oh, Delibrium, friend of the channel here, has it. Perfect. All right. Good man. Video quality is ass. I apologize, but here we go.
Nice place. You don't care much about these fascists, do you?
Now, again, it's subtle. It's very subtle. But I can tell you right now, as somebody who grew up on Indiana Jones, I don't recall him ever talking about fascists. They talk about the Nazis in the first movie. Nazis, I hate these guys. You go to the third movie. Nazis, I hate these guys. It's a running joke. It's kind of like Terminator saying, I'll be back, okay? They never use the word fascists. Ever. Never comes out of Indy's mouth. Why would they post this today, of all times, with the caption, good kitty? I'm sorry. When you have people around the world mocking Charlie Kirk's death, calling him a fascist, the shooter wrote fascist on the bullet. This is not a coincidence, guys. I'm sorry. There's nothing coincidental about this.
Nice place. You don't care much about these fascists, do you?
I don't buy it. There's just nothing about this that seems coincidental at all. And of course, Hypnotic saying, I can just imagine the social media intern that made this post and was forced to delete it right after. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's these social media managers, the community managers, the PR people, doing a wonderful bang-up job the last couple of years of alienating all of their fans. It's just insane. This wasn't a random dev on their personal social media account or some indie studio. This is a major video game studio sending out a post exactly that appeared to mock the death of a major conservative influencer. Why this matters for Bethesda? Well, why it matters for Bethesda is the fact that they've got a ton of people at Bethesda who have been exposed recently for being absolute freaks, weirdos, celebrating this. Here's the funny one, too. I found this tweet in the thread of tweets that they had on their page. Currently ratioed 3.2 thousand comments to 842 likes. Okay? And of course, when you say, why did you delete this? You point this out. They don't answer. Even the quartering saying, fire this person or face consequences. Decembro, what the F are you guys doing? Geekazu, hey, Geek. Bethesda, anything related to Bethesda won't be a penny from me ever again. Won't see a penny. And I support any movement that fights to destroy the studio. Based. Yeah. So you can see the gap is narrowing between effing around and finding out. Yeah, here you go. So we'll get to the actual tweets now. Oh, this is a good one from Learning the Law. Imagine playing a Bethesda game, minding your own business, and all of a sudden you encounter this cup. You can feel the rage of the developer who inserted herself here. From Starfield, again from Bethesda, they have this cup in the game. Never apologize for being a powerful effing woman. Again, same studio. Cosmic Book News says, no surprise, back at the 2016 NYCC, an Elder Scroll dev went ballistic on me for believing me to be a Trump supporter as Trump was on TV at a bar and everyone was making fun of him. Since I didn't react like they did, someone said I supported Trump. The dev completely lost his mind and started screaming in my face. This was after I talked to him for an hour or so about the industry. When I called him out and asked him to take it outside, he didn't know what to do. The bartenders were heard and called security. He got kicked out. Crazy. Again, Cosmic Book News. You're talking about a journalist here. Member of the press. All right. Kata saying, F you Bethesda, canceling his Game Pass. Good man. If I cancel mine, my kids are going to freak out. I got to figure out how to get... Well, see, I buy mine cheap, though. So they're barely getting a penny out of me because I go to places like Instant Gaming and buy those cheap $10 a month ones. I know it's still giving them money. You can shame me. That's okay. This is a producer at Bethesda. After gamers complained, the official account posted this clip from their Indiana Jones game. After people called them out, they panic deleted it. And again, the fact that they deleted it so quickly is proof that there is more than just the coincidence of the timing, right? And this is, again, is a producer at Bethesda. Says, you are under, this is a retweet, you're under no obligation to mourn the death of people who would have celebrated yours. I don't know who they're talking about. Charlie Kirk wouldn't have celebrated anybody's death. Again, he's a better man than most of us were. They'll ask you to mourn the deaths they mourn and know others. They'll ask you to cherish the lives they cherish and know others. This is why liberals can't defeat fascism. Nazism is not a political disagreement. Let's see. Let's make one thing clear from the start. These are all reposts, by the way. Charlie Kirk was the victim of a shooting in a country where he, along with other right-wing extremist influencers, have been inciting violence for years. So again, he incited the violence that got him killed is the basic thing that we keep seeing time and time again. It's about training you and getting you addicted to the service. Yeah, for me personally, I could live without Game Pass. But the thing is, for me, it's we have a house with 2 computers and an Xbox, and my kids play a lot of the stuff that's on Game Pass. So for me, again, cost benefit analysis, if we're talking about like money spent versus actual hours of entertainment, it works for me, especially because I spend like $10 a month on it. It's not, I don't pay full price. Again, I'm not trying to justify it. Anybody who spends money supporting studios that do this kind of shit, clearly it's a bad choice, right? Nobody should do that. But again, the same way that I'm not going to shame somebody who decided, well, you know what, my kids love Nintendo, I'm just going to buy a Switch 2. I don't care. That person bought a Switch 2, I just don't buy one myself because it's an overpriced piece of crap. I'm not going to go shame somebody at Costco because they decided to buy their kid a Switch 2. It is slightly different though when you get to this point where you have people calling for death. So am I going to go buy a Bethesda game? Absolutely not. First off, I can't remember the last Bethesda game I actually played. That's the craziest part. Too frugal with my buying, especially entertainment, gaming, movies. Yeah. Well, there's frugal and then there's sailing the high seas and being extra frugal. No one's asking them to mourn Charlie to stay quiet instead of mocking it. You know, H. Brown, here's the thing. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't even care if somebody says, didn't like Charlie, I'm not going to mourn him. Okay, that's your opinion. You can say that. I don't think that that's something that should get somebody fired. If we're talking about this conversation about the people getting fired or canceled or whatever for things they said, I don't think saying, I didn't like the guy, I'm not going to pretend to be sad he's gone. I didn't play Skyrim. I played Morrowind. I'm old, okay? My one Elder Scrolls that I actually played and invested hundreds of hours in was Morrowind. I don't know, did Bethesda have anything to do with Doom 3? Because I played that one. That was id, not Bethesda. God, I'm mixing up my studios. I'm scratching, trying to figure out a Bethesda game. I tried Fallout 76 and I hated it. Played it for 2 hours and uninstalled. Yeah, I can't think of another Bethesda game, to be honest, guys. I'd have to dig way back there. But this went beyond people just saying, I didn't like Charlie, I'm not going to pretend to be sad he's gone. This went to where people were gloating, celebrating, calling him an evil piece of shit, saying basically he deserved it. It went beyond that. It went beyond just saying, like, again, like I was saying earlier in the stream, if a pastor didn't particularly want to talk about the assassination during his sermon, I don't think saying, I need to find a new church is the right answer. You know, consider Doom a Bethesda game. Well, now you're talking about like whether people consider Doom 3 a good game at all, which I thought was good. I like Doom 3. I thought it was a different, like an interesting take on the series. Fallout's the only Bethesda games. Last decent Bethesda games, Fallout 4. Admiration of pirates exists everywhere. There you go. Oh, dude, Morrowind was awesome. Fantastic game. All right, so someone created a Steam curator listing devs who said good or bad things about Charlie Kirk's death. This will be really interesting to watch. This will be really interesting to see how it played out. Yes, Truth, that's what we have here. In fact, here is the link. It's got almost 9,000 followers right now. So it says, on September 10th, 2025, not sure how much I can write here without being removed, but Charlie Kirk died. In the aftermath, numerous individuals cheered. These people worked on these games. Then you've got Stood Up for Charlie on X, Stood Up for Charlie on X, Honored Charlie on their Steam's events page. And again, I don't think a game studio needs to support him or say anything bad about him. Just make a game. Yeah, but I didn't play Doom the Dark Ages because my graphics card couldn't play it. And then after I put my new card in, I didn't bother installing the game again. I installed Doom the Dark Ages before I knew my computer couldn't run it. It was like 120 gigabytes. It was insane. Let's see. Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2. Now, people don't like Daniel Vavra. People have issues with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. They have a lot of issues with the gay stuff in the game. They think that he went woke because of, again, Embracer Group and all that. Embracer? Yeah, Embracer. But he did stick up for Charlie Kirk. Daniel Vavra did publicly denounce what happened to Charlie Kirk and said it was unacceptable. And again, love the guy or hate the guy. He is what he is, you know? Soul Ash 2. Yep. Trouble in Paradise. Don't know this one. Victory Heat Rally. We're going to get to this game in a minute because this poor person had their life kind of turned upside down for a minute. All right. So then, of course, you got Starfield. Final Fantasy 14 Online. Let's see what else we got. What we have in the not recommended section. Shovel Game. Automaton Lung. Willful. A lot of games I've never even heard of. But then you got Indiana Jones Great Circle. Doom plus Doom 2. Doom 64. They actually need to add some more to this because I found some stuff out about a dude that worked on the first couple of Battlefield games. Said some pretty not cool stuff. Yeah, a lot of games on here. Marathon. We all know about Marathon. Power Wash Simulator. No! My kids like that game. Among Us. Go figure. You got that game on a bundle? Why does no one talk about in Raiders of the Lost Ark? It hints at him being a pedo. What? Wait. Because he's a teacher? He's trying to chameleon? I don't think he's trying to chameleon Squall. I think he just is what he is. He's not a conservative right-wing Christian. He's a right-winger politically in terms of free speech, guns, immigration, security, borders, all that kind of stuff. So Ravita, I don't know that one. State of Decay 2, I knew something about the developers a while back. Now, actually, another one that would be really interesting to check out is the dev behind... Crap, what's the name of that game? Top-down zombie survival game. Pixel graphics. I have it. I have a copy, but I never play. It's very tough. You can pick like 100 different classes: firefighter, medic, police officer. It's like I think there's a sandbox version of it too, but there's a survival story mode, I think. Well, Geek, it was about the fact that he wasn't forthcoming and honest about it more than anything else. That was really the biggest black eye we had in that entire situation. And then, of course, attacking people, sure. Like, I'm not defending Vavra's the way that he came across or his actions. I don't want to dig up that corpse again. All I'm saying is he's been consistent when it comes to his political takes. He has never wavered on that. He's not a fan of the EU. He's never been a fan of authoritarian governments, that kind of stuff. Project Zomboid, thank you. Why could I not think of that name? But yeah, he's a lunatic. I saw one time he was posting a couple years ago about political stuff, and dude was a complete loon. Even putting Veilguard on Game Pass, no one wanted to play it. Yeah. Around 7 million games. Yeah, but Avernum, it was one that was really popular. And see, Squall Shade had my back there, because Zomboid was by far one of the most popular of any of those games ever. Massively popular game. So here's another one, found by PS Shots 93. Says there was also one of these, one that this Bethesda employee said. You've got this Bethesda employee here saying, spend your entire career fanning the flames of hate and calling for violence against minority groups, then don't be surprised when it backfires. The world is an objectively better place without him. Again, it seems like these studios specifically hire everybody who aligns. He probably locked in his basement just coding without having any idea what's going on in the world. No, he's a far lefty. I've seen some shit he posted years ago. I just moved on with my life and forgot about it until now. Quarterback Garrett saying, never buying a Bethesda game again. This is disgusting. A lot of people feel the same way. A lot of people feel the same exact way about this, that they are just going to not touch another Bethesda game. And personally, again, with Bethesda doing the day one releases with their games, how many people are buying Bethesda games at this point anymore anyways? I don't know which zombie slop is popular. I tuned out that genre years ago, and now I actively avoid it. I bought Zomboid because God, I hate streamers. As I sit here streaming, talking about this stuff, but I hate game streamers. I hate streamers who stream a game for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. They make you think the game is fantastic. Like these guys who are fantastic at Escape from Tarkov, the ones who are incredible at certain like strategy games and shit. You watch them play, you go, I could do that. I love that type of game. It looks fun, right? You finally commit, you buy the game, and you go, holy shit, why did I buy this game? This is terrible. You know, it sucks. The only thing I pray for is a time where we can finally remove political leans and ideologies having to warp everything. Yeah, that would be nice. Okay, so you got based Marek Tominsky, and I've had concerns. I've had concerns about Marek Tominsky in the past, the CEO of CI Games, Lords of the Fallen, because a while back, he quickly embraced the idea that he was going to be the anti-DEI studio. He was going to be the anti-DEI, the anti-woke developer, right? And so, unfortunately for him, his first game, well, actually, it was a spiritual reboot, successor, whatever, of their original Lords of the Fallen game. They released it, 2 years ago, Lords of the Fallen. It didn't do well. It never made its money back. They're still trying to recoup their money. They've put it on sale numerous times, which is why I own a copy of it. I got it like 66% off or whatever. And I wanted to support the studio if they were going to do good things. I still need to go back and try to play the game again. I played it like 4 hours, and I wasn't having fun with it compared to other Souls-like games. There's that term again, guys. But the guy seems to have his head on straight, and it seems to be more than an act. So Marek Tominsky tweeted out a couple days ago, I would fire anyone celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. I don't care about your politics or your identity. Only the quality of your work matters. I'm getting tired, guys. Sorry. Our diverse, merit-based team rejects DEI nonsense. The world's recent events are unacceptable. It must stop. Now, again, a lot of people down here in the comments saying, I'd fire anyone celebrating his death. I don't care about your politics. You contradicted yourself. I don't think so. Think about the nightmare of having employees. Now, I'm self-employed, guys. I've always worked family business, self-employed. Basically, I have retail, I talk to customers, I talk to wholesale customers, I talk to people online, I have to communicate with the vendors and everything else. But I still work solo, mostly. So I don't have to worry about what my coworkers' politics are, what their religious background is, what their ethnic makeup is. I don't have to think about that stuff. I go to work, I do my job, I treat my customers respectfully, I interact with people on a professional level, and that's it at the end of the day. But imagine you go to work and you're friends with your coworker on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever, and you see them celebrating the death of a man whose beliefs are exactly the same as yours, and they're calling this man basically everything from Satan to Hitler to the worst bigot that ever existed, and that he deserved it. What they're essentially saying is, he deserved it, and anybody who feels the same as him deserves it too. So then imagine trying to be a coworker with those people, knowing what you know, that they would hate you for everything you believe. And then you try to go to work every day and pretend that, you know, everything's fine. So I can understand saying, look, if you bring this kind of shit on yourself or into the workplace, you're going to lose your job, you know? Because imagine having to go to work every day knowing that your coworkers would celebrate your death. You know, it's an OSHA violation. Yeah, it's the safety violation. It's one of those things where, can you imagine the HR nightmare this would create to go to work and have coworkers posting this kind of shit on Twitter? Let's say you're in the minority, like we talked about. Asmongold covered this in his video talking about this. Tell your HR representative, email them, tell them I don't feel safe. Tell them I feel like I'm ostracized. I feel, in danger for my safety, or I can't talk openly like my coworkers do. And then you have a legal paper trail to take to a lawyer. Hot take, Bethesda was never good. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. One of my best coworker friends is borderline lefty, but he doesn't talk about the sort of stuff. He's so out of the loop that he was unaware of the Kirk incident. And a lot of people were. And to be fair, a lot of people just straight up don't talk politics at work. You know, that's fine too. People who are cheering on murder and assassination would be a fireable offense in most sane companies. It's amazing the amount of military. Oh, I've seen it. I've seen some military personnel that are actually sharing this stuff. It's nuts. Yeah, well, the HR rep is on their side, Squall Shade, but that doesn't matter. You as the employee are supposed to be represented and looked after by your HR representative. And then if your HR rep does nothing about it, you have a legal, you got a lawsuit. And then you can take that with a lawyer and you go after the company. These people, they will start weeding them out if they actually do this. No worries, Cage. I'll be hitting mine soon, too. He's always on the boss's side. That's how it works. It's more expensive to hire a new employee than keeping one. Well, again, it doesn't matter if the HR guy's on your side or the boss's side. It does not matter. It truly does not matter. Because once again, in companies that have human resources, if they do not advocate for the employee when the employee feels that their safety or that their quality of life in the workplace is up to standards, or when it's being impacted, whether you're talking emotionally, psychologically, physically, or whatever, if HR does nothing, you got a lawsuit. And again, I'm just happy I don't have to think about that. So we were talking about this Victory Rally game, I think is the name of it. Let me check here. Recommended section. Recommended. Why is this popping up not recommended? Oh, filters. That's why. Weird. Hang on. Recommended. There we go. Let me see. I love that they have Tainted Grail on here, even though they know nothing about the developers. This could backfire. Yeah, Victory Heat Rally. Okay. So this guy here put out some posts supporting Charlie Kirk, pushing back against the way people were acting. And he is one of the two people, I believe, at Sky Devil Palm. He's the director and character design at the studio they made this Victory Heat Rally game. Says, I hate how long it took and how much blood it took for normies to finally accept just how evil the left truly is. Some of you would refuse to associate with me over having the views that you see people freely posting on Twitter X over the past day. Just please keep your eyes open. And of course, his game then got hit with massive review bombing. Go through OSHA-like legal mindset suggests exactly. Yeah. People can say what they want to at home and not on a platform like Twitter and Twitch. Well, and again, it's like, here's the thing, guys. I don't think firing people over normal political differences or even hot takes on Twitter in a situation that isn't so controversial and so raw as it is right now would be a normal thing to do. Like, if I was a boss and I had two employees and they were both great and they had differences of political ideologies and somebody said something on a social media post that offended the other one, I would try to mitigate it. I wouldn't be like, well, you're a Dem and you're a conservative and you're evil and he's good and I'm going to fire you for having a different opinion. You know? Oh my God. Kick sucks. I'm going to stop streaming to Kick as well. Like, really, screw Kick. Legal Mindset recommended going to OSHA because it's free and anonymous, and the complaint goes directly to the CC. Oh, well, there you go. Go through OSHA instead. But the point still stands. If you go to HR and you've got a legal paper trail, then you can do something about it. Almost no one calls it just X because it sounds weird. For me, it's Twitter. Twitter still makes the most sense. Once in a while, I'll say Twitter or X if it's in the middle of a conversation about something on Twitter anyways. I hate trying to call it Twitter, you know? But no, I wouldn't want to take sides in the situation when you have employees who are doing their job, they're good employees, they show up to work on time, they treat their customers or their coworkers civilly, but they said something online that offended somebody else. If it wasn't anything as like abhorrent as what we've read recently, I think the normal reaction as an employer is to say, look, you got to chill. I know you guys don't feel the same about these things, but you're just coworkers. You don't have to, you're not sleeping together. You're not married to each other. Just figure out a way to put this behind you. That'd be fine. We're talking about a situation where the man was dead for less than an hour and people were celebrating it, calling for it to continue happening. This was beyond the pale. This was like the most extreme situation you could ever have in this circumstance. So again, not something where it's simply a difference of political opinions. So anyways, Virtual Heat Rally was then being review bombed because the director criticized the left's response to the Kirk shooting. And again, this is not a game that sold thousands of copies, okay? I'm sure it's done okay for a little indie game, but you can see where it went from all-time very positive, 90% of 435, to mixed, which was 57% of 28. Not exactly the most incredible review bomb we've ever seen. You're talking 28 reviews recently that made it mixed, okay? I mean, Lucia, that would be the easiest thing to do, right? Nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. The other answer, here's another answer. Don't be friends with people on social media who you have really strongly different opinions with if you can't get along. I mean, I don't follow anybody who I think would be a complete, like, insane, lunatic, lefty communist. I don't. Very few of us are on social media proper, so even if we had to take that someone didn't agree with, it wouldn't hit any of us at work. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's a fair, yeah, that's, again, a good situation there. So the game currently, despite the attempt at a review bomb, has now been swung all the way back in the other direction, ironically, which is pretty crazy. So all reviews, recent reviews, 78 very positive. If you go to the reviews, it's really funny. Most of the current reviews are just trying to undo the review bomb, which I can respect. I don't know if I would spend $14 on this game. I'll show you guys the gameplay footage in a minute. Filter, let's see here. Review type, let's go to the negative, 63 negatives. Let's see here, 6 hours on record. This person here had nothing but complaints about the actual game. Fair enough. Then you've got September 9th. I don't know what Mola Cero means. Ein echt tolles Spiel macht Spaß, aber wird immer mehr. I gotta brush up on my German. I can't understand. Can we translate this? This is from September 7th, 3.4 hours on record. Let me see what else we got here. August 28th, not recommended. Here we go, posted September 2nd. 0.3 hours, 15 minutes of experience. The only good gameplay mechanic in this entire game is not a good one. Weird. It's really funny. I'm not seeing the review bomb. Here we go. September 13th. Bought this game way back in Kickstarter because I'm a sucker for 90s throwbacks. Played this game a bit but got distracted. You played it for 0.4 hours. Like other video games, now the dev has, as I'm writing this review, gone off the hard right deep end. I have some really mixed feelings on this game now. Is the game good? Sure. Is the dev right-wing nutjob? Also yes. Buy this game or don't. I can't control you, just to let you know. 61 people found this review helpful. Wow. Okay, so this person posted September 12th, almost 8 hours on record. Enjoyed the game quite a lot. Bought the game quite a while ago. The actions and words of the Sky Devil Palm CEO Aiden Sid, who using the work of noted Nazi stone toss to incite hatred and violence onto others, ruins my enjoyment of the game. So basically, a lot of these people who previously had enjoyed the game, they didn't just buy it to review bomb it. They actually liked the game, but they only switched their review to negative because of what he said. Interesting. copy and paste into ChatGPT or in GPT and ask it to translate. I could do that. I could translate it roughly enough on my own, but I don't really feel like it. Social media was a mistake. Yeah, it kind of feels that way. Perfectly normal to feel threatened when your coworker celebrates the murder of someone who said the same things you do for no actual reason other than years worth of misrepresentation and lies. Right, that's the thing. That was my point, is it goes beyond something where it's just, okay, this person was kind of a lightning rod and people didn't like what he said, but it's, whatever. Hatred and violence by minuscule words which don't incite violence. Yeah. No, it is really funny. It is funny that we've heard for years that rhetoric on the right is causing violence, but then people on the right got shot and they're like, well, look at your rhetoric. You guys caused this. And it's like, if I say something that pisses off somebody else to the point where they want to kill me, who's the one being hateful? It's just crazy. It's a crazy notion. But that's it, guys. We'll play a little bit of the gameplay so you guys can decide for yourself if it's worth picking up. I don't personally think that the game needs to be saved. It looks like they've fixed the review bomb. I have enough games, Sticks and stones, good question there.
The VHRC. Cowabunga! Easy left. All right.
Could be that I just don't really care for racing games.
Holy smokes!
I mean, my kids would probably enjoy it, to be honest. You love Mario Kart, but I hate Mario.
Let's check out that replay.
Well, unlike Mario Kart, the thing about Mario Kart that I hate is that the game basically comes down to, yes, there's shortcuts in Mario Kart, there's drifting, there's all these things that make Mario Kart, what it is. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, then somebody gets a blue turtle shell, and no matter how well you've raced, it just all gets effed up, Yeah, it does look like a mobile game. The main problem this game has is that kart racing fans are in the Nintendo bandwagon. They got a new one not so recently. Yeah, I don't know. The game came out last year, and, like I said, it's one of those things. Would I pay $5 for it, maybe $10 for it? If I was really in the mood and I really felt charitable, sure. It's on sale right now for $14. I would definitely not pay $20 for it. And that's fine. It's like somebody else will, and it sounds like for people who are actually playing it, they're having a good time playing it. For me personally, though, like I said, I've got enough games. I have enough time invested in games that I'll never play. But again, at least these guys were able to fix that review bombing situation, which is good. Because at the end of the day, it's like if people are enjoying the game, but then they decide later on, I hate this person now. I don't know. I've never done that. I've never done that where because somebody said years after playing a game, I went back and said, oh no, this game sucks, don't buy it. Cal Arts women in top left, red flag. It's a party game? Oh no, Zach. My son, my 12-year-old, he is a Mario Kart sweat. I try to tell him that. I'm like, it's supposed to be a fun game, and he instead will do like the time attack, and he will try to like shave milliseconds off of his courses, and he'll play online with kids from Japan and Korea and stuff, and he'll try to finish ahead of all of them. It's insane. Yeah, I didn't play the N64 one. I personally... It's ending... Yeah, dude, it's almost midnight here, man. I gotta get some sleep. We've been going for 2.5 hours almost now. I gotta get shit done. I'm no closer to getting us moved into a house than I was 2 weeks ago, guys. I've got to start getting... My days have gotten more and more of a slog the last couple of weeks due to everything else going on, plus personal stuff and everything, but I'm just trying to get shit figured out. So hopefully, I need to have a productive week. Hopefully I can get some stuff done, get another video out tomorrow, and then get closer to being moved. We'll see. Came with a $15 bundle that had 4 codes in it so I can play with other friends, then yeah. Oh, thanks, Squall Shade. Appreciate it, buddy. I'm gonna try to sleep first. First I sleep, then I get shit done. Hey, D-Mop, thanks for hanging, buddy. All right, guys. Lugia, Colt, Classic, all you guys who donated or even just were here and liked the stream, appreciate all you guys. Mr. Hardcore Mode for the gifted, appreciate you, dude. Yeah, dude, honestly, I'm getting better as far as like the world stuff, the insanity. I just need to get refocused on getting stuff done during the course of the day, be as productive as I possibly can, because I gotta get life better for us and situated. So, all right, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. I will be back on Wednesday. I don't know yet if I'll have a guest or not, but I'm